you are on a boat at least. As Thorg at this point would likely be returning from probably a final greeting with his half sister. Thorg at this point Lystra, as she is giving her final farewell. All the goods having been removed the day before, and she's been doing work, settling and getting stuff sorted. Asking to have Thorg around as much as possible.
Understandable. He'll gladly join.
Keep family around before, you know, she has to go.
We ended up getting paid by her, didn't we? And then we spent it on like the
Well, you don't necessarily get paid by her.
Or well, paid for transporting her.
Yes, a diplomat here does indeed pay you.
Yeah, and then we spent some of it on like the 20 fuel.
Yep, we got 20 fuel, and then split the rest among the party.
Which I've already added to my character card.
Yay.
Yep. That says
I've already added it to my character card and hidden most of it.
That is true. I have not done that, which I will set. You are now at 33 fuel.
Yay.
Also, I need to lower down the rations by 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to edit the sheet.
And our whole space is actually now freed up.
Yes, you currently only have 2 whole space expended, which is actually not much.
Which is my shit.
And the dwarf that
and
we're
the
transporting.
Dwarf, yeah, his stuff.
I think that's...
Totally didn't forget about him.
Oh dear. I forget.
Next question is: Are we going to be
Hecate...
picking up? Are we going to be picking up another job, or are we just going to continue?
Well, we discussed that the other day.
Yeah, we decided no.
Okay, that's fine.
Because we don't know how long Jortes' stuff is going to take.
We don't know how long I'm going to take. It would have to be somewhere going directly to that town to be viable, and we don't want to spend too long in this town searching for a job.
Yeah. Oh, 2 things. First of all, Sideline got the mask from Torn.
Which mask?
The goblin mask I had.
Oh, that one, yep.
Yep. I just figured Big B and J-Mac would want to know that.
I'm noting it down.
Yeah.
And secondly, Torn would like everyone aboard the airship to gather for something.
For that, I have a question for Dark, that I would have learned earlier that I just realized. When Hecate left on the trip down here, did she take her construct with her?
Yes.
Okay, so the dragon's no longer here guarding the ship, but now we have sidelines. Okay.
Yeah, she took her construct with her. She took all of the stuff that she had been storing, and she took her little assistant.
Side by assistant.
I can't really say consort, considering none of that happened aboard your ship.
Thankfully.
That we know of.
No, pretty definitively people can say, because, I mean, they were on opposite sides of the ship half the time.
Yeah, don't worry, I did ask him, and she was still giving him attention. Just not here.
It's not late to throw myself off a ship.
Assuming you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
Assuming he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Which means she might have more restraint than Jortas.
Hey, Jortes can choose not to when he wants. He just doesn't often want.
No, he wants all the time. That's the problem.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to not.
At any rate, yeah, Torn wants to gather everyone aboard the airship in the lounge for something. I suppose the first question to ask is if everyone actually gathers.
I was going to say, so if other people actually show up, then Jortes will at least make an appearance.
Sarah will appear.
Yeah, Dark.
No, Sideline's laying on one of the couches with
with a gun draped across his lap.
Daughter
also fiddling with
sort of
something.
turns
We
up,
don't know.
goes, "Thank God I'm not the only one here," and finds somewhere to sit.
Sideline, why are you injured?
I'm not
Yeah,
gunned. I'm not. Well,
Your
partially.
bar's still like half full.
Yeah. Brendan's basically like on the balcony, that would lead back into the control center.
What about Rylan and Elliot?
They're there as well.
Okay,
next
well, that's
sideline.
everyone I care about.
Anna is not. Anyone who knows Anna has currently been in deep meditation on the bow of the ship for the last 7-8 hours.
Interesting.
You know, that's fine. Anna wasn't really affected by this in any meaningful way, so she can be exempt from this.
And she's doing
But,
her weird oracle-y thing, so yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Torn's going to walk into the room carrying a thin rectangular object cloaked in a thin sheet before standing in a central location and leaning the object he was carrying against his leg. He's going to clear his throat and... Attention, everyone. I'm sure you're expecting the reason I've gathered you all here is for me to once again try to justify myself. I'm going to tell you right now that that is wrong. I'm going to ask that you please let me finish speaking before shouting at me, but I understand if that can't wait. The reasons I've gathered you all here is to admit that I may have been wrong. Even as stubborn a creature as I am, even I have to admit at some point when I am holding my ground only for myself. To keep my pride, to convince myself that what I was doing was the right thing, and that everyone else just simply couldn't see the importance of what I was doing. I admit I may have been wrong about that. Now that we've all had some time to cool down from everything that happened, we've all had time to think about things, well, especially me, and I, for one, have thought about things very intensely. You all have said, or in some cases done, some things that have cut very deeply. In one case, one of you managed to say the exact wrong things to me, which probably made me dig myself deeper in my self-convincing hole. Torin is very clearly looking at Jortes for that last line.
Just sort of looking back.
So I wanted to make a few points. First of all, I really am deeply sorry I used you, Jortes. That kind of thing should be below me, and I suppose it naturally isn't. So I will keep myself aware of this so I do not make that mistake again. Mm-hmm. Secondly, it's come to my attention that some of you preferred me when I had my mind altered by that Wayfinder and its magics. I suppose I understand, since some of you are very carefree and prefer to just go with the wind on some things, but it seems there was more to it than just that. I'll admit it hurts a little that you preferred me when I wasn't myself over who I am naturally, but in spite of this, I suppose I should take some things away from those experiences and change my way of thinking. I hated being imprisoned in my own mind like that, but I must face facts. Which brings me to my third point. I have been facing a side of myself that none of us here enjoy, let's be honest. The darker side of me filled with ill intent. I was trying to make some amount of peace with it, but considering my actions and my history, I suppose I shouldn't be trusted with that. So I suppose that in order to avoid my worst fears coming to realization, I will have to bury it instead. At this point, Torin will take the rectangular object and pull the sheet from it, revealing a painting of Torin with his features twisted and demonic, with a large red X across it before throwing it into the middle of the room. If I must reject this side of myself in order to keep the people I care about close to me, then I shall reject it. And Torin will throw a flask of alchemist fire onto the painting, causing it to burst into flame. I refuse to lose any of you. As much as I try to keep myself composed, and I try to remain stoic and an unflinching pillar, my worst fears are losing all of you. I don't want to go through that again, and if that means I must change, then please. I want all of you to help me change for the better. Just please, tell me what my faults and flaws are. Tell me how I can become better, because I don't seem to be entirely capable of it of my own. And I hadn't honestly. I don't think I can really learn any other way, but that's it. I'm done. If anyone has anything to say at this point.
Okay, first of all, I'm very proud of you. This is different for you. Second of all, please do not set the carpet on fire.
Aye.
Also,
That's-
as noted in chat, the room has now been flooded.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
They watered down the booze. No.
But
Sideline, after being covered in water, walks over to the side room, opened up the main wall drain.
But yeah, Sarah, I had trouble moving the carpet in preparation for this. It appears to have been nailed down. I
I
apologize.
do that with most things in this building.
Mm-hmm.
but
It turns out when I decide I want to roll the ship, I need having things nailed down helps. Redden says from the top balcony.
I'm glad to see that you're actually admitting you have a weakness.
Aye. And I personally feel that this is a step towards your own personal enlightenment.
There's something on Thorok's face. I'm confused by it.
It's called a beard, Sideline. It's been there.
No. There's like an orange mark on his token.
Yeah, I see it. It's like on his nose.
You got something on your face. I got it. There you go.
And here I thought you were going to say a smile, because that's what he is doing, so.
Okay, well. No,
That's what I
you
was
got,
thinking too, until Sideline pointed out the orange thing.
you got something.
Yeah. Ugh.
And Frog's heart grew 3 sizes larger that day.
Thorok's heart's
And then
just
he
as large.
died.
It's
Now
just
it
he
is-
doesn't
now it is
usually
size
change his
2.
expression. Ugh.
Like, if I'm not here for making Grinch quotes, what am I here for?
That's a good point.
Spell
Well,
You
that's
might as
made
well
up.
just leave if you're just not going to let him.
I mean,
carry that.
you're also here to increase our cat population to 50%.
It's true.
Would that
By
mean he
50.
now has a gargantuan-sized heart in a medium-sized body?
Oh god.
Dark, there's a bit of a problem
That's
with
a
him
very
increasing
serious medical condition. It needs to be corrected immediately.
the problem with him increasing the cat quotient. Torn naturally decreases it since he's half dog.
Well, no, that doesn't decrease cat population. There's still 50% cat in the group.
Yeah.
Just also happens to be one sec.
Infinitely more dog.
But okay, before we
What is
drag
What
ourselves,
the hell is 1/6?
fraction?
1
Here's where we all prove that we
0.1%.
fail at maths.
Approximately 18%.
I've got a C
Yeah.
for a reason. But before we get down this rabbit hole too far, kids, do you have anything you want to say?
Sideline would see Rylan kind of look down at the rifle he brought with him.
Oh yeah, Sideline brought his rifle too, so.
Yes, Rylan may have brought his rifle with him and had bestow proficiency running this entire time.
Yep.
But they don't say anything. They just kind of. I mean, they say things to each other, but they don't say anything out of turn. There is clearly though Elliot's a little bit distrustful right now.
I think I'm going to say that every human or organic creature here in the room is thinking is you're still an ass, but I appreciate you saying this.
Aye.
Well, if I'm going to stop being an ass, I apparently need some help. And that's why I made this whole gesture.
Good. Then you've taken your first step. If you would like,
Believe
You
me
like
when I
them
say it is not easy for me to ask for help, especially with something like this. Especially with all of you. But something I have to do.
It's something everyone has to do. Nobody's perfect, as much as Fork likes to think he is.
no, trust me, I'm far from it. But I've been on my way, and it took me 5 decades to get there.
For someone so good at reading people, you're so bad at telling them I'm joking.
I unfortunately do not have 5 decades to meditate on this.
No, you don't. However, I might be able to help accelerate that.
In fact, I believe, if I am correct, I barely have 6 decades left to live.
Yeah, it's better than what most people get.
Aye,
Actually,
and if there's one thing that I've learned about you humans is that you can change remarkably quickly, for better or worse.
humans adapt
Far-
very quickly in comparison to the other races. That
Aye, far
is
faster
our
than-
greatest strength, I suppose.
Aye, far faster than my people. There's a reason we are known as stubborn as rocks.
Not
And
everything's
growing
just about
up
your
among
race.
your people, I suppose I took some of that stubbornness with me, which I am having to forego in a very uncomfortable position right now.
Just keep in mind, not everything's about race. While change can be for the best, don't go overboard. As much as we'd love to see you being an evangelist and sing out to Lord knows what, baby steps.
Which Thor kind of looks at Sideline and goes, "You might have to convince him more than you have to convince me on the evangelist part."
I'm not asking you to go around to doorsteps and ask things.
No, but you still wanted to put me in, what did you call it? Celestial armor?
The armor of your ancestors? Yes.
What do you mean, my ancestors?
Suddenly makes a motion to your eyes.
Eh.
I view it as only fitting.
Aye.
The irony is not lost on me.
Suddenly will smile at the fact.
So, does anyone else have anything to say to me, or...
No, you should be fine. Renan, how close were you to our next docking position?
I'll have to recheck the maps. But we've got a couple of days' travel.
Alright. If anyone needs me, I'll be in the hold. Thorok, continue your reading.
You don't have to tell me that, you know.
Sorry, I was just doing a sit rep.
No, Sideline, before you go, you mind fixing that burn mark in the carpet?
Oh, right.
I can.
Greater mending.
Wow, nothing like overkill.
I was gonna say, if you wanted to do your duties as the ship engineer and keep us up in the air, I could fix it.
What?
It
Oh,
doesn't-
no. It's partial enjoyment for me fixing things.
I know.
I appreciate you burning a hole in the carpet, Torn.
What, do you want me to just start knocking a hole in your wall every once in a while just to give you something to do?
More or less.
I...
The ship is dreadfully boring at times.
I need a drink.
Well, if anyone needs me, you know where to find me.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever that is.
Oh, you said it, Sideline. Oh, you said it.
What?
Ship is dreadfully boring sometimes.
Jinxed us, didn't you? Sideline, we can't take you anywhere.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Oh dear.
No one has ever tempted fate just as well as Sideline.
Yeah. Worf, Anna, how about we jump ship and then come back when our luck is probably better without Sideline?
No, Anna likes it here. She's fine.
Yeah, but she probably doesn't want to get hit by like 15 consecutive lightning bolts because you've like tempted the gods.
Well, good news, no lightning bolts.
Ah,
Yay.
That's the good
Violet.
news.
Rylan, what are you doing
dragons.
near my balls?
To be fair, Anna would probably just be like, "Oh, so that's what being struck by lightning feels like. Now I know."
And then suddenly she gets struck again, but except now it just kind of goes around her with a shield and conducts on someone else.
Yep.
It was an unpleasant experience. I didn't want to go through it again.
So I sent all of it to Torin.
Tingly.
He's just sitting there smoldering, twitching ever so slightly.
As the lightning is somehow jumping halfway across the ship to hit you.
Hey,
Rylan, rather than spending a lot of time just examining Sideline's vault, not breaking into it, just examining it.
yeah, careful, it's hot.
He realizes, but he's kind of got that fascination of ooh.
Big shiny
Ooh,
metal magic
shiny.
thing.
Basically trying to figure out all the defenses Sideline had, and considering the number he has in there, it's going to take him a while.
Yep. More than a reasonable number, I can tell you. Probably more than is necessary. Today, Agent and Moron fight a sleeping bag. Ah, why?
However, so initially though, the group can set off in a nice it's sailing high and happily. There are some minor engine problems on the first day of travel.
Fixed.
Also, Sarah, please cut off 1 day worth of rations. Yes, the problems are nothing that Sideline can't handle. Literally, I don't think Sideline could fail to roll the check to fix the engine.
Probably not.
So,
Damak's not here at the moment. He had a quick BRB.
fine.
So you're going to have to edit that.
Fine. Luckily, since we're on such an even number for this, just knock it to 70.
Yay.
Also, 70 is also divisible by 3.5.
Yay!
Yay.
That's also good. You'll eventually get down to 0.
Yeah. So we have approximately 20 days worth of rations then. And now he's back.
Well, the second day, however, something interesting happens.
Oh dear.
Sideline,
Yeah.
as the ship's kind of flying along, you notice some of the pressure gauges are just rising. And rising.
And what sort of... great. I'm going to vent that out the back of the ship.
You try to vent it out the back of the ship, and it seems the mechanism just gets stuck.
Ah, shit, we have a clog.
Meanwhile, elsewhere on the ship, Torin,
Mm-hmm.
where would you be right now?
Where would I be?
Mhm.
Well, Torrance probably in his room doing research and.
Torin,
Mm-hmm.
you hear this weird kind of clank inside the vent.
Sideline will
Thorns.
push the... I'm going to say I push the intercom. So everybody in the ship, brace for sudden release. We have one of the pipe blockages.
Wait! God damn it! Torrance going to try to just start trying to disassemble where he heard the noise came from, trying to get Alex out of there.
Well, you disassemble it. Torin,
Mm-hmm.
can you make me a reflex save?
I can.
Whether he succeeds is another matter.
Reflex 13. I do not. Wow, I rolled a 4.
Before I tell you what happens, I'm going to skip scene somewhere else. Sarah, where would you be right now?
She would probably be in her room working on thingy, just trying to figure out stuff about stuff.
There is this really
stuff
weird
taken.
noise underneath her floorboards.
She probably would have heard intercom, wouldn't she?
Unless she has
you-
earplugs in, she probably heard it.
She'd be like, oh, you better not explode. I guess. Okay, what could this potentially be? She's gonna get out. Would she know if there's anywhere nearby where she could kind of see where there's an opening to a pipe?
If you go out into the main hallway, you can probably find exposed piping.
Okay, yeah, she's gonna get out of her room and have a look at the piping and see how it looks. Does it look bulbous at any point? Like something's
No,
caught in it?
The piping there looks just fine.
You know, despite the cartoons, metal pipework often don't really get bulbous.
Well, no, but
Might
they
see
can
cracks or
bulge
something.
slightly.
But okay, as Sarah kind of goes there, she suddenly hears a large crashing sound from her room.
Okay, I'm glad
As
I
I'll
got out.
get back to that in a minute as well. Where would Forok be right now?
We're in flight, correct?
Yes. You've been flying for a day and like 4 or 5 hours.
Okay, then he probably would be in the lounge,
All right.
probably reading.
So in the lounge, there's a weird sound from the taps at the bar.
Oh god.
Put your head under it. Put your head under it.
No, I don't think I will, but I'm going to just sort of go over and look at it.
Okay, you go over and look at it. The pipe seems to be vibrating slightly.
Oh dear. Thork's going to just back up now.
As Forok backs up, and suddenly it bursts in a spray of alcohol. And as for all 3 of you, what happens is not steam or something like that coming out, though in Forok's case there is also alcohol in addition to what's coming out. There is this sudden cacophony of insects.
And
Oh dear crap. Why?
Oh
How?
God, why?
This of tiny little red insects.
ants.
Nothing ever boring happens around here, right? Right?
Mhm,
Sorry,
mhm.
boring.
Oh, dear.
Torin,
Mm-hmm.
turns out you didn't dodge. Turns out Torin very failed to dodge, actually.
Yay! GG, guys, I was eaten by ants.
You were not eaten by these flying insects.
Oh, great. Here's where I wish I had that Swarmbane clasp.
Indeed, we're dealing with swarms here.
Oh, great.
Let me just find the exact effect that will occur to you, Torin,
Mm-hmm.
because I know you like this.
Mm-hmm.
At the
Okay,
very
first
least, you can deal
Torin.
with them.
Torin, as the insects
Yep.
kind of buzz around you and start kind of biting and sucking at you, you lose 1 point you take 1 point of constitution damage.
Ow.
Also, you also begin a bleed effect. You take losing 1 point of health per turn
Okay.
as you got loads of open wounds.
Is this Are these Sturges?
These stack, by the way. The bleed actually stacks on these. Secondly, you need to make me a fortitude save versus disease.
Lovely. 9.
Torin,
Yep, I have disease.
yes, you do.
This looks like a good disease. There we go.
I can accept that. Also, by the way, there's tons of them hanging to your skin, sucking at your blood.
There's only
Ooh,
one
wolves are
logical course
tasty.
of action. Set myself on fire.
Can't possibly
I can,
go
you know-
wrong.
I can accept if you wish to roll a fire attack against yourself. You may choose to.
Just cracks a bomb over his head?
No, alchemist fire. It sticks.
Oh. Yeah, I guess. Okay, that's true.
Sure. You can try such. You do it, and
Can I forego adding my intelligence to damage to myself?
you can choose to not add that.
Then I'd merely take 3 points of fire damage.
Sure. I mean, it scares them off temporarily, but they kind of just reform, and you realize, oh shit, they're going to come back soon. Everyone on the ship
Yes,
can now
but
kind
yes,
of
but if I am constantly on fire, they should not be able to attach to me. That is my theory, and I have a lot of alchemist fire.
Perhaps. Sideline.
Yep.
You very quickly also experience the same thing occurring, popping out of pipes and vents. Crew, there's a
How big
crisis.
is how big is this room?
The core room? Pretty big.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
Okay. Can I make an action quick?
What's your action?
I would like to cast resist energy fire on Rylan, and I'd also like to spend my move action running over to the vault.
Oh god.
Well, Rylan would probably be at the vault, and you'd probably be at the engine room right now. So,
Okay, well then I cast resist energy fire on myself, and run over to my vault.
Okay,
Which is basically right next to each other. So
sure, that's fine. Yes, essentially though, the crew kind of decide what are they going to do about this.
Burn out the infestation.
Maybe
Oh.
wander down from the deck once I realise something's happening.
Jordan certainly hears a lot is happening.
Yeah, best
You haven't seen
head
anything,
down
so-
then.
He knows a lot's happening.
Are there intercom systems in every room?
In every area, at least, you can easily get to one with not too much issue.
why are the bees in the booze? Why are the bees?
Is this some kind
Yeah.
of sick joke?
Yeah, basically, then Thorak's gonna go over to an intercom and yell, "Swarms! Swarms of insects are coming out of the pipes." Should
Is-
reach Jortes at this
Is
point.
there an intercom system on the deck?
Yes.
Somewhere, yes.
Then yeah, you probably would have heard it. Heard Thorok shout. So, oh, okay then.
I
Wanders
mean, you have that
down.
perception, you could probably hear it through the floor.
Yeah, true. True. Yeah, he'll head on down then.
Sure.
Just heading towards the closest sound of panic.
The closest sound to you to panic? Probably the lounge.
Or panic, fighting, what have you.
Probably the lounge.
Is Renan okay?
You're not with Renan, you don't know what's going on up there, and
Oh shit.
nor do you actually know, nor any of you near Elliot right now, so. So, you as a group, how exactly do you want to kind of handle this situation? The group can...
Torin's first priority is fighting his way to Elliot. That is his priority.
Sideline is going to be securing the vault as well as the main core room by one swift action.
Oh.
Opening the door.
I have closed all of the doors, and I'm going to open the vault and crank up the heat. And try to make the entire room burst into flames.
Remember Rylan was down there.
I know. I'm going to cast resist energy fire on him next, as well.
Sure,
I'm also going to yell, "Don't look in the vault."
Sideline will roast the entire area.
Clearing out the vault and the core. Yay!
How many bombs do I have left? A few.
Yes, the ship is currently being invaded by giant insects. For the rest of you, there isn't an option of just burn out the rooms with the power of core.
No, there's
Yeah.
not.
So, Team BT, describe exactly how do you want to do this. You can resolve this through combat. It's an option.
How sturdy is the ship against internal explosions?
I'll be back 1 second, and I'll answer that.
I can tell you, probably very.
But
Because
I don't
I'm
think
just
it's a thing-
thinking, I have alchemist fire, and I'm in the room with lots of booze.
We can repair.
Oh god, no, not the booze.
But also, I don't think this is a thing we really want to test. What we should
Yeah.
probably do is meet up.
Yeah,
'Cause-
get everyone and see if we can. follow
Sideline
the
will
insects
say,
somewhere.
after a few seconds, say, "Core and vault clear." If not, kind of warm.
Okay, well, so you want to know how resistant is the ship to internal explosions?
Yeah, because basically I was thinking, I have alchemist fire, and I'm in the room with all the booze.
Okay, the group certainly has the option here, where there is one way you could solve this. Essentially, we miniaturize nuke our own ship. It's going to cost you a lot of supplies to repair everything, but you could do it.
Yeah, which is a big thing.
And that would
Try to
result
avoid
in
that.
essentially you just burn the entire ship.
Yeah, that's not my first option.
It is a option. Silo would estimate it would cost you 2,000 supplies.
No,
Wow.
we don't have Hecate to try and. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to just
We had her.
2,000 supplies.
How bad is the swarming in the lounge?
I mean, I would probably say 3 or 4 tiles of swarm,
That's not so bad.
which totals something on the line of the size of these insects. Let me check how many are in a flying swarm of this size.
A few
They're
thousand.
like a 10-foot cube, aren't they? as well. So
Pretty much, it's a 10-foot cube worth of insects.
3 10-feet cubes.
1 sec. Let me just work this out. Swarm. We're talking large swarms, and we're talking large swarms. There is probably, let's see, 10,000 times that up a bit. See, by that packing density, I don't know, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 insects.
Sideline question:
Yeah.
does the ship have a fire suppression system?
No.
Then what-
Dark question.
yes.
Knowledge checks to learn about the bugs, especially like if they're attracted to certain pheromones or something.
I believe vermin come under the area of nature.
God
Yep.
damn it! I am untrained in nature. Someone else do this.
I am also untrained unless these are specifically against dwarves.
These are
Since
not-
I was doing research, I would have things running, which helped me with this particular situation. Which means I currently have a plus 15 to this check.
Do
Boop,
it.
33.
These Torin recognizes as a special kind of a certain kind of mosquitoes, the blood haze mosquitoes.
Oh,
Ah, shit. We must have...
Blood haze mosquitoes are interesting. They are a very tenacious kind of mosquito, and unlike normal kinds of mosquitoes, they can sometimes form these essential balls of kind of mass, essentially creating mini hives in pretty much anything. But small confined space is their favorite. They are actually rather deadly. They are so tiny, of course, that swinging your sword is going to do absolutely nothing at them.
Of course.
They will drink your blood, and they can afflict people with something known as sleeping sickness. It drains away characters' wisdoms and can leave them incurably fatigued for long periods of time.
Ah, shit.
Sigh.
There is a way to cure sleeping sickness, admittedly. A very easy way to get it out of your system, which is to purposely consume and not resist a dose of arsenic.
Can you just cure it naturally like a normal disease?
You can. It's difficult to cure, but it's curable.
Well,
Yeah.
remember you should still have that anti-plague I gave you, like, God knows how long ago.
The main point is arsenic is
Used it.
the arsenic's an automatic cure for it.
mm-hmm. Which
Other than that, though, these are, well, they're vermin. They're not particularly intelligent. They do have incredible dark vision, though. That's one thing that we know. They can see in the dark further than drow.
Nice.
They're a lot.
Would we know if they're attracted to anything in particular? So I'm essentially thinking bait and lure into very hot places.
Blood.
Blood, buckets of the stuff. I could drink.
For the kind of blood,
Dortes.
for the kind of blood they're most attracted to, it depends on the exact species.
if we pulled these from the Conclave, it's probably Dwarven blood, which is very good actually, because Thor can lose a lot of blood without taking any penalties.
Well, I guess it's time for some bloodletting.
But in terms of what we should do, I'd say we meet up and systematically either clear areas of the ship or try and see if you have a nest anywhere.
Yeah, I would personally say what we should do is first gather everyone together, make sure everyone's safe, then burn out the bulk of these swarms, and figure out a way to actually hold on a bloody second.
Mm-hmm.
I could send someone to find where their primary nest is and just poison the fuck out of it.
You could.
That would be good for a long-term thing, but there's still the swarms around here.
Well,
We
there
need
is
to get rid of them.
Well, there is the whole point. If you poison their nest, like they'll probably all
This
die.
won't happen again, is
They're
my
also-
point.
Well, yeah,
That's true. And they'll probably also all die in a day or two anyway. If the next nest is poisoned.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
basically we poison the nest and then just hold up in the reactor or something for a couple of days while the rest die off.
Become sieged by insects. That is an option. If this works successfully. Depends on how much Torin trusts the character in question to be able to get there.
If it's
And
Thor,
not he die via mosquito.
Thor can probably do that.
No, what I want to do is make a big bloody distraction for all the bulk of them, so that he can get into where he needs to go.
You use a dwarven distraction.
No, I want to use a very, very large distraction.
Oh, you're gonna enlarge purse and then cut yourself.
No,
open.
well, okay, maybe. But no, I was thinking we should all donate, just to be sure.
Nice.
Okay. I would
Okay,
really
here's
rather not, because I'm at
here's something
Civic
that
Con
I'm going
already.
to say.
Okay, Sarah, you're already suffering from a huge con thing. You can be exempt from this.
I
Thor
am
can
not
lose it.
human.
Okay,
Or
fine.
organic.
Sideline, you can be exempt from this. Everyone else, I would prefer to deal a point of con damage to for bait.
If anyone has a swarm suit, you can certainly make the situation easier. But
Thor can do you one better because he's resistant to ability damage and stuff.
one thing that would also be noted, which is while they'll only do 1 point of constitution damage on contact, if they're just stuck to your skin and they're drinking away on you, they'll eventually be able to do more points. So they will eventually be able to get through your resistance.
Yeah, I know.
So
That's,
admittedly, you could go for a small bit and be fine. Just if they stay on you for too long.
yeah, I meant like the personal bloodletting though. So
Yeah, that's also true. With your personal bloodletting, you can lose a decent bit because you technically take -1 to all the rolls of how much you lost.
yeah, so as long as I'm not giving like more than one per time, it's
I mean, you
I'll
wouldn't
be
be giving more than 1 per time. Potentially, it depends. There'll be a dice roll for it. You roll, you lose X amount of con, but of course you'll be losing X amount of con -1.
all right then.
So does
So,
this sound
yeah.
like a good idea?
Yeah, Thor
Sure.
can easily do that, and if
It's
we
an
pull
idea.
them away, we can get Jortes in there since he's the poisoner here anyway, and he's very fast and very stealthy.
The main issue is trying. The main
No,
issue is
it's not
Yeah,
Jortes.
I know
Jortes isn't
who
gonna
he's
be able
planning
to
on
crawl
sending.
Jortes isn't going to be small enough and nimble enough to get to wherever their little niche is, because they like tight, confined spaces. I have someone for that.
I
But
know
it
who you
might-
mean.
But it might also be helpful just to have Jortes go look for it, because it might be incredibly hard to find.
that is
There's
also
a lot of
you
there's
have
a
to
lot of
find-
places
Yeah.
in the ship that
Yeah,
could be like
maybe.
that.
Yeah, I mean, having Jortes go with him to pinpoint the location of it might be a good idea.
Okay, so we're having 2 strike. So it's gonna be team distraction and then team.
Yeah, and
Something else we can do as well.
I want to completely deodorize Jortes and Alex for this.
Okay, can do.
Yeah,
That is-
because
I
if
believe
they can't,
do have scent as well. They have scent for any creature that has blood. That's pretty precise.
yeah,
Something
because
else we can
if
do-
we completely negate their ability to give off a scent, especially their blood, then they should logically be a lower priority for the swarm.
Yeah.
I mean, would they even be attracted to me right now? Because I kind of stink of sulfur.
Yes, they would.
Can send through that.
The
but
thing
the
is, they
others can't
can
do it.
catch you at a further range right now because you stink so bad.
Yeah, I think for his actual
Yeah,
mosquitoes were because they detect
but
CO2.
I was more thinking, they're bugs. Would they really go, oh, that smells of sulfur, let's go that way?
That actually isn't an issue for these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Other kinds of insects maybe, but
Mhm.
Something
Torin
else
knows-
that we might be able to do with
these
this
are-
drawing out.
yeah, these are certainly tough insects. Torin would be able to go metagame. Each 5-foot square is considered a CR6 encounter.
That's a lot of. That's.
So
I really
this
wish
is
I had
not
Swarm
easy.
Vein.
These are pretty tough guys.
Yeah.
So, if I may make another suggestion as well, lure them to the core. Have Sideline sort of lower the temperature of the core enough to where it doesn't chase them away, and then whenever we've got them all lured in there, crank up the heat.
So
I mean, okay, time out. The core is cooled. That's not. You can stand next to the core and not die.
They
The
good.
thing is, it's currently being vented all the heat into my vault.
as soon as the vault doors open,
Oh.
As soon as the vault
that's
doors
where
open, a giant firestorm reaped out of the big vaults and nuked the entire room.
Then let's do that.
Yeah, let's do
because
that.
okay, you
Reseal
have,
the vault.
for people's actions, you have free choice on people's actions. You can, of course, send. I suppose with this plan, you can send them on On poison team, which has, the more people you have, there is a chance, of course, the more chance you get the storm attracted to that location.
I would rather just send the 2 rogues and that's it.
You can send you can have distraction team, or you can have characters marked as in hiding.
I want Elliot in hiding.
I'll be going with the hiding team. However, I will offer everyone heroism and resist energy fire.
I will take both.
Okay, you do not need resist energy fire, Jortes.
No, I really don't.
It's still 10 points more than what you'd normally get. I'm happy
Yes,
enough if I'm
He's
having
not going
it.
to need. He's on a poisoning team,
I also
and
do
if
not...
he needs to burn out an infestation, he has fire resistance anyway. He should be fine. Alex, I definitely want to have the heroism for the fortitude saves.
Should I just take away all my 3rd level spell slots since it's you covered?
I feel like that would be good because
The bigger thing here is there's going to be more skill challenges than looks like the exact use of combat is what you're looking for.
No, the question is, do we have a suitable poison for this?
That is the other question. Do you have something to poison them with?
I have a high pressure strength poison. I don't know how it will affect them
there's that one.
necessarily.
Because the one difference between poisoning and burning the nest is burning the nest, the insects are going to stay around. If you poison the nest, the insects will die off. So
a strength poison would actually do very well because insects don't tend to have good strength scores.
Tauren knows they have
kill
abysmal
them
strength.
quicker.
Tauren knows they have abysmal strength scores. If you can lower it only by a couple of points, you'll KO them.
Then yeah.
So
okay.
that strength poison should do perfectly well,
Yeah,
especially
so-
considering it's high pressurized.
And it will
Petrified
it'll
stuff.
automatically aerosolize. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that's gonna definitely get rid of a nest.
Yeah, I mean, I could convert that into say contact or something if we'd rather, but
The most effective Tauren would think of would be having it as contact, because you could coat the nest in it and make it essentially when they go to land to feed and lay eggs, they'll kill themselves.
Well, do you want me to convert it into contact?
Well, because the thing is, the gas will naturally get washed away by the
Considering the pressure of it, you're probably going to end up. Tor's going to warn you. It's going to end up making more poison than you think it will. So draw it out slowly into a very, very large container. This thing is meant to fill at least a 10-foot cube of poison.
Torren, this is my trade. I know how to deal with this.
I trust you to convert it. I'm telling you the amounts you're dealing with.
Okay. So with that though, if that's what's going to be happening, I can set you mark this through. If you're having characters marked as in hiding, go ahead and simply move them to the reactor. We'll put them there.
Question,
Characters in hiding, essentially, they won't be helping with the main distraction force, but they're also basically quote unquote safe.
Yeah, Brennan as well.
They'll take the least amount of brunt of the damage.
Yeah.
Okay, Dark question.
Elliot needs to be in there.
Okay. Yes.
Question. Will they actually attack me?
They will, but they'll prioritize all other living targets first.
They go for organic first. That's good to know.
So, Dark, I'm assuming this poison that Torren's giving me, I'm assuming its DC is less than a 33?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even need to roll, then I can just convert it.
How long does that take, Tor?
1 hour.
Okay. Because this is important for me to know, because time is your factor right now.
Yeah.
Your ship is full of insects.
Also, technically takes an alchemist lab, but I have my portable one. Handy dandy.
Since Sarah's going into hiding, who wants the fortune charm?
I would like that to go to Alex because they're the one that's going to be applying the poison theoretically.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and if they roll an
If
one,
something goes horribly wrong, well, they're the weakest out of Alex and Dortes. So.
You don't want them poisoned in the vent.
Yeah.
All right.
That could be really inconvenient.
I need to make sure the ship doesn't crash while we're doing this.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, as well as be ready to flood
That is true.
flood where we're drawing them with heat.
That is certainly something which is an interesting situation. Because Renan can essentially put the ship into basically what his autopilot is when he sleeps. Which is fine unless something happens. If something happens in intermediary time, of course there'll be no one there to react.
This is why Sideline's going to probably go up to the hull and then, make sure nothing happens while the distraction is going on, and perhaps finding us a place to land.
Well, Simon's certainly not the best at landing, but certainly Simon can at least keep an eye on it and try to keep the ship safer. That's something like he could do with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way that imp hiding people are is kind of a bit of a. The hiding people are almost in a Schrodinger's cat situation of they're somewhere and we don't entirely know where until after we know we're safe.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah
Actually,
and a couple of people who can heal are with the hiding team, so I feel like they're probably going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they could just be on the deck. Because the insects can't get up there because the winds will shove them away.
They might be.
So
Look, worst
one of
case,
those locations.
It is a good point though. You have your two main healers on the roof right now.
in
It's
the worst
fine.
case, if the bugs do get up here, I have some good spells for actually dealing with them, namely Aqueous
Yeah.
Orb.
Don't you also have like a wand of fireball?
I do not have Fireball. I've never had Fireball
So-
except for my
And
weapon.
again,
so a wand of
exploding
it.
the ship.
I thought
Oh.
someone had a wand of fireball.
That's Rylan.
Rylan,
Rylan. Okay.
so he can have some AoE if he needs it.
Yeah.
Which, as it turns out, is going to prove very, very useful very, very quickly here.
Question: should I put us on a track that we won't crash, or should I put us on a track where we land?
Don't crash at first.
Yeah, we need
Don't
to keep
crash.
going.
Not crashing is certainly an easier one than trying to land, because Silo has not done a whole lot of landing of this ship before.
Yeah. No. Okay. All right then.
I mean, landing the ship is not the easiest design to land in the first place on solid ground, but
Mhm.
like, there's warships to land, but it's not the easiest.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to design on land after all. It was designed to land on the sea.
See, I have to prepare to negate aromas for this.
Okay, in which case, let's move these around. Fork is going down to Vault Team. The doghouse is being moved to storage. Oh, wait, no. The Vault House. Sorry, the doghouse is being moved to storage. Alright. And
Oh, as you guys get ready, I don't care if you open the doors of the vault. Here's the key. Don't look inside the vault.
Got it.
so, okay, the various groups are all going to go underway. Sideline.
Yep.
I want you to roll me a perception check.
Oh god.
I
And
would.
and basically make the perception check and it'll be running in the background. If something happens, that'll be what I compare it to.
I would have loved to give you heroism, but you're stupid, and I can't give you morale
That's true.
effects.
Your eye would be morale.
Tears to wine, +2.
Do you give me that?
Yeah, I mean, if we're in an emergency situation, Taurus is going like, here, everybody take a drink. You know it's magic.
Well, it's an emergency. Everyone get drunk.
13.
Chuck.
Okay,
Above a
compare it
10.
comparing it to a 13.
Oh god.
By the way, Dark, do you see what I posted for Alex?
Let's see.
Flame breath, bears endurance, negate aroma.
Where is that?
I
Just
Thank you.
above sideline
Theory.
perception.
and Jortes gets a negate aroma as well.
I'm
Because
not
I said
stinky.
I wanted you both to. Well, to be fair, Jortes is probably wearing a deodorizing agent and has
That's true.
negate aroma just in case.
Because, I mean, Jordan is in a particularly bad situation that way.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, in that case, the team's going away. Firstly, though, Jortes is spending an hour just doing
Yeah.
that.
I imagine this hour is basically Torrent summoning Alex from wherever he's hiding and preparing extracts and shit.
And that's not too difficult to end up happening. Most of that hour that section there is for Jortes, kind of doing that. The rest of them having to kind of stop the swarms from bothering you. Because as it turns out, alchemy takes a long time.
Yeah, it's
Torn
annoying.
just lays out a thing of, let's see, 10 flasks of alchemist fire, and he has his own supply of fire bombs. It's fine.
So, Jortes, you auto succeed at your alchemy check.
I take 10, I get 33. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, in a situation, I didn't. Are you distracted or threatened?
Arguably, I
I would
guess.
argue you are distracted or threatened right now.
Don't
I
forget
mean-
+2 tiers swine.
Let's see, on a nat 1, what would I get? Oh yeah, +2 from Tears to Wine, so that would take me up to
And heroism?
19
Yeah.
plus 2. Yeah,
That
heroism's
would be at
already
least a
included.
26.
Yeah, what did I forgot what I said before.
33 on a take 10. So
Well, it should be 35 on take 10 because
so 26 minimum.
Yeah, 26 minimum. Is the DC of the poison less than 26? No, it's not. It's more than 26.
I'm sorry. Yes, it is. It is 26 or under. So, congratulations. You're fine.
Yeah.
Yay.
Feel special. You succeeded.
Yay! I'm helpful.
It's going to take you an hour, of course. Which is no problem.
Yes. But it'll be more effective when we get in there.
Yes. Meanwhile, though,
Rylan has a wand of fireballs. I have more bombs than I ever actually use. I have 12 bombs to use.
who do you want?
10 alchemist fire.
So why don't your group down there tell us how you stop the swarms from interrupting Jortis's room?
Well,
Lots of alcohol and keeping a fire going by
as
burning bits of furniture, alcohol, whatever's on hand and flammable. Basically, we're creating a wall of fire.
well, keeping them off Jortes, meaning we're attracting them here.
Yeah. Either or blocking them from getting to Jortes, or
Campfire bead, that works.
or getting them to come to you. Either or is the main point.
Why not both? Let's be double sure.
Yeah, Thork is going to be like going with Torin and surgically letting his own blood in order to attract the insects.
Sure. In that case, why don't we start? We can start off with that one as the first thing for that, which is so why don't Thork go ahead and donate 1d3 minus 1 con.
Is that taking into account
Yes,
my?
taking into your thing already.
Okay, that's 1 con damage.
As Thork gives up some blood.
Oh, let's give up some blood.
Something
Woohoo!
None.
Something else that is brought up by Rylan by something you could do also in theory is you have meter board.
Also true.
You
How
could
much
also
are you
give.
rolling, Big B?
He's giving up a lot of blood, it seems.
Thork can do that. He's fine with just.
Okay.
You know what? 1 more.
Okay, 4 doses.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god, Thork's more blood than dwarf!
He's not a
Now
rock
I
at all.
You know how people.
Full of blood.
Now, can you make a stone bleed? Yes.
You can get.
But yeah, something else that's brought up is Rhino said you could try to essentially, if you wanted to, like basically convert food into more attraction.
But my pork.
Downside you're using rations, but the point is, in theory, you could also convert rations into trying to help if you wanted to.
But my pork.
No, I think we need to keep the
fine.
food because of. I think we need to keep the food because of the expenses. We can heal naturally.
Yeah, no, that shit's
can't.
expensive these days.
Yeah, we can't replenish food
It's a
naturally.
lot.
So,
It's a lot. It's ironically a lot easier for me to replace everyone's blood than it is to give them more food right now.
Yeah. You know what?
Wow,
The
that's
point is,
depressing.
Rylan brings it up as a option. So.
I understand.
Nope.
You know what? I'm gonna.
No, we're
I'm
going with blood and fire.
Sure.
Speaking of which, would Rylan care to donate?
He won't donate yet, but that's because you might have more time to go, so he'll save until later.
Yeah, thought it's just kind of
I
dumped
accept
all over
this
at the
reasoning.
first instance.
Because it's gonna take this is what's happening in the first hour.
Yeah,
Thor's
which is
gonna-
why
in that
I
case, Thor's
only,
gonna
which
hold
is
off
why
on
I only used 1 dose of blood.
Admittedly,
Thor's
Thor's
going
got
to
2
hold off for
zeros
now.
in there.
Yeah.
Because
I'm guaranteed to give up a lot less than you are.
Okay, with that, the insects successfully are attracted, with only a few minor exceptions, which is small enough that the fact that Jortis isn't alone, they can be dealt with.
Good.
Like a few go in, but it's not enough to cause problems for them.
Just stamps on them.
You get individual insects, you don't get the swarm. The swarm goes to you.
Have fun, guys. See you later. Where's the parachutes?
Which luckily, you have resources to be able to fight a swarm for now. Torin, do you want rather than expending fireballs, or do you want, or would you like to expend, a bomb use?
I can expend bombs because those are just daily.
Fireballs. Yeah.
Sure. There is a certain hit point threshold you need to go over with the damage of your bombs. Of course, AOE's are plus 50% damage. So
Which is
keeping
pretty
your
good
bomb damage. See how much damage you add. If you exceed the threshold, you ignore the threat. You can of course accept the threat and say you got bit tons and tons and tons until the reactor opened.
Okay, so what is the damage threshold I need to reach?
I can't tell you. That's basically how many hit points does the group that went to have.
Yeah, just
I have
give up a
12
certain number of
bombs, which do 4d6 fire
Basically,
damage.
roll damage and also
46 plus 4.
basically roll
Just
damage.
roll.
don't forget that each of those is also multiplied by 1.5.
Stop 1 second. We need to work exactly how much damage you've actually dealt.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to use 3 to be sure.
9 plus 11 plus 5 plus 12, and I'm going to times the entire thing by 50%. Or 150%. Where is my bracket? There's bracket. Okay. Thank you, Renan. That does successfully manage to bypass the entire swarm's health. That Torin managed to keep the entire swarm off, and no one gets hurt.
Oh, good. If any of them did get past, I would have them go for Thorok first.
Yes. The main point is, of course, they would get past and they would begin to actually deal damage to people.
Yeah.
They do not run into the in hiding group yet.
Good.
Hour
Good
one
news, I have 9 bombs left.
Hour 1 is complete.
Oh, what?
The swarm might start losing interest in the fact that Harry were getting to you. Turns out you've been destroying them a lot.
Well, and that's where more blood comes in.
You can indeed give them more reason to come.
Go, Thorok. I believe in you.
A 0. A 0.
Yay!
Okay,
One more, or should I?
Rylan will feel free to give up 1d3.
And he only takes 1, which means he doesn't actually take any penalties at the moment. Do I want to give 1 more? I will.
What are you at currently?
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
It wasn't as bad, though. It did knock me into the next penalty spot. So I'm now taking -2 on penalty or on con check.
It's fine because Brock can't really hurt a swarm that well anyway.
Yeah, no, but I still have more health than both of these two. So
Yes.
Yeah, you have 51. I'm down to 25 health.
yeah, you shouldn't be giving up nearly as much.
I can
I'm
go
actually-
into -5 con. I'm
How many
fine.
second level extracts do you have left?
I spent them all, I believe.
Okay, 3rd levels.
I have 1 left.
Well, you can get lesser restoration for one of us if we need it.
Yeah, and guess who my highest priority is?
Rylan is okay for now. Of course, that depends when damage comes around. When damage comes around, who knows what happens. But okay.
I
So
probably would have if I was planning on doing this. I probably would have made a lesser restoration. Honestly,
So the group
I have 1 of those.
your group down there is bombarded by more insects.
Bugs.
You may feel free to either attack them or accept penalty for being attacked by them.
Bombs.
Bombs? I'm hearing bombs.
You can use bombs. Bombs are a valid source of this.
Problem, I net 1.
Well, that does not. Then that one fails entirely. You somehow miss the swarm.
Well, at
Just
least that
toss it
was
out
one
the
of your
window
lowest
by
damage.
accident.
Oh, hello.
Hey!
That was a
There
lot
we
of
go.
damage.
There we
I
go.
had to expend 4 bombs here, so now I'm down to 5.
That
Fine,
is
5 bombs.
73.5 damage, which is still enough. Though one thing Torin's recognizing, He's not beating the damage threshold by that much.
Good to know.
Looks like it's going to be 70 then.
Because these swarms are tough swarms. They're CR6 swarms, after all.
What AoEs does Rylan have?
Rylan has, of course, the Wander Fireball, which is the easiest one he has to launch off.
Doesn't he have Burning Hands?
He does have Burning Hands as well.
Okay, that's good.
And he probably has a few other spell slots you can pull off for it. You can basically say, instead of expending bombs, Ryan can expend spells, and I'll roll through those until we get there.
Yeah, I think spells first because of, like, bombs and spells first because we cannot recharge Wands of Fireball.
And of course, you can choose, of course, to completely just use the vault to nuke all of it, but you guys will probably also get nuked from the vault.
Yeah, which we have resistant 20 each, but it's probably still going to do a little bit.
Yeah, Silent has made sure that even the fire resistant people have a hard time. So
I know.
probably intentional.
Oh, no doubt.
Okay, so Jortas,
Mm-hmm.
your new challenge, of course, is you need to find the swarm.
Yeah, I'm hearing perception checks to basically hear any like large cluster of buzzing or see where swarms are coming from.
That is a acceptable thing, since you'll be considered aided for this because, of course, you do have someone with you.
Yeah, so that's a +2 for the aid.
Yep.
Plus
And
2
remember-
to wine.
+2 to wine.
And +2 heroism.
Oh, J-Mac was saying heroism would have ran out by now.
Unless you're coming up to get it again.
This is hour 2, so
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
I do have more spell slots in which I can give you heroism. But you'd have to make a small detour up to the deck.
You couldn't do that if you wanted to, in theory.
I would
And
suggest
then-
you
in
do
that
that
case, you-
because
In that case, you get a +4 from me, because I'd also be using Moment of Greatness.
Yeah, fine.
It's
Don't like wasting the time, but yeah, that gives me a flat +30.
this check is not going to be a check of do you succeed or not. Jortes can find the swarm.
It's
How
how
well.
quickly
It's
I
how
find
quickly.
it.
It's how long does it take Jortes? Does it take him an hour, 2 hours, half a day?
I think that
3 days.
+4 is going to be very useful for this.
Yeah,
It's basically how long do the guys down in the vault have to hold out on?
yeah. So yeah, this is a +30 for my perception, which is reasonable. 37, obviously half distance penalty, blah
Yep.
blah blah blah. You know the drill.
The distance penalty does not apply in this case since you're searching for something.
Damn it.
And this is just purely about do you know where to look?
Yeah.
As you
That's a
kind of head
pretty good
about.
check.
Okay. Let's see. That is so the worst category is it takes you 7 days, which is you roll below a 10.
Okay.
Well, glad I didn't do that one.
The next category is it takes you 1D. It takes you 3 days, which is 10 to 15.
Mm-hmm.
15 to 20 is it takes you an entire day, 24 hours. 15 to 20, which is E. You would then it goes down to 12 hours, 6 hours, 3 hours,
You're in the
to
I
1D
think
3
you-
hours.
1d3 hours, right.
Is where
Oh.
Jordas is right now. It takes Jordas 1D 3 hours to track down the
Well, it takes 3 apparently. Damn it.
the lowest it can get. The lowest it can technically get to is if you get a 50, it's 1D3 times 10 minutes.
not bad.
Basically, they search the entire ship in 10 minutes. They could.
Mm-hmm. What's the Mecha Griffin thing doing in this time?
And the
That's
Griffin
true.
the thing is, the Griffin basically can't fight them.
True.
Hmm.
And it can't really distract since it's clockwork. It basically ignores them anyway.
It ignores it anyway. So basically, there's nothing it can do.
I mean, it can help us search.
It's not the best at that considering it's quite big and clunky.
True.
I guess.
If anything, it makes it too loud to search.
I guess. Plus, that would only
You know
take
what
me up to
the Griffin
39.
can do? You know what the Griffin can do?
Hmm?
The Griffin can make sure, like things aren't like exploding or breaking or anything while the rest of us are either hiding or dealing with the swarm.
It can, to a degree, help that. And if nothing else, it also means on the top deck, essentially in the safe group, you have 4 healers up there. The Paladins lay on hands, Brennan,
Yay.
Elliot, and Anna.
Yay.
Wow.
All the healers are on the roof.
I'm guessing the old dwarf's in the hiding group as well.
But yes, the old dwarf is indeed hiding up there.
I can imagine the gnome is as well.
Yeah.
The gnome is somewhere. No one's entirely sure where the gnome is, but the gnome is somewhere.
Oh god, I probably should have looked for him.
The gnome is probably safe. Probably.
Yeah, remember, he's pretty good at hiding, so...
He's a first level though.
Yeah.
I know, that's true. If he
And
gets
he's
caught out,
equivalent of
he's...
being.
And
That's
he is
equivalent
fighting
of
some,
like
and
deaths.
he is fighting something he probably can't use enchantments on.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's like the equivalent of death stalking outside my door and being like, "It's okay, he's under the bed."
Okay. But things will progress. Because it takes some time, and quite a long time, and you guys down there, well, you're starting to feel the heat, we'll put it that way. As it's been going a long time, and you basically just keep getting back that we're still looking.
Mhm.
And it's built up. And it's quite the bombardment. So, it's up to you. You can do it as 1 3-hour block, or 3 1-hour blocks. Your choice. Either way, you have 3 hours worth of attacks to get through here.
If we do it as one
I mean,
40 hour,
why shouldn't we just do 1 3-hour block, basically?
Well, the 3 1 hours are proportionally going to be less, but there's going to be more of them.
Yeah,
Less than
but
their sum of their parts.
not really. I
The main reason you might want to go for smaller blocks is essentially to help you better manage resources. Essentially.
That is true. But really, the resources that we need to manage right now is our con damages and our bombs, spells, and fireballs, and our
Yeah, 'cause
fireball
I
launch.
have I have 5 bombs, 10 flasks of alchemist fire, which I add my intelligence to for damage. So
Phase 1, of course, is how many of them do you attract to, and how many are on the hunt for the survivors.
The good news is, even if we don't attract most of them, both Jortis and Alex are very good at hiding.
They are both good at hiding. That is indeed true.
So they might be able to just get out from under there anyway. Also,
That's
Jortis,
true.
I think you have some snap leaves, don't you?
because
I
ignoring
have a snap leaf which I've given to Alex.
Okay.
it's also the fact by the fact they're both ignoring scent, it means they cannot be auto detected.
No, Jortis, you have the Wayfinder with invisibility.
That is true.
well.
And I will have the stone in the Wayfinder so I can trigger that on need.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's only for like 20 minutes, so I can't keep it up forever.
Yeah, it's understandable.
I also have a potion of invisibility. I have many options.
Yes. The group is not in too bad of a shape. So, first thing, do you want to do it? So you're doing it in 3 blocks or 1 block?
What do you think, Torn? Since it's you and me in this, I'm gonna go with you on this one.
I generally think the 3 blocks would probably be a better idea, merely because then we can manage our resources easier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which case, basically, hour 1, there's suddenly a bulging in the pipes.
Oh,
And
great.
4 of them burst out at you.
Okay, well, we attracted round 1, which is good.
Of course, how many did you attract is actually the first question, though. Because you'll always be attracting some, but how many have you attracted?
Okay, and this is where the con damage and stuff comes in, isn't it?
How much con damage or how much food or what other things you're using to attract them, if you have other things.
Well, I take a point of con damage.
Oof.
These two are just going to be emaciated corpses at the end of this.
It's okay. I can go into -5 con without dying.
Yeah,
Oof.
I'm now at taking a -1 on my con checks. I'm gonna try one more. Okay, I ignored it.
You got a
Let's
0.
try another one.
4 just regenerates blood so quickly.
I got another 0. All right, I think that's gonna be good though.
Yeah, don't need to tempt fate too much.
Your
On the
group attracts the vast majority.
On the next one, let me roll first, because the more zeros that I roll, the less you guys need to roll, and you guys are more, well,
I can accept that. The NPC will not roll until after you're done.
Okay.
So in which case, you have another swarm arrive. This one looks particularly bigger than the last one.
That's actually good, because that means we can...
You said it looked a lot bigger, right?
It's looking quite a bit bigger.
Okay, let's just use all 5 of these bombs. Fuck it.
Alright. Good news is, the more of these that we take out, the less there are going to be later. Okay, yeah.
You successfully beat the 125 hit points of the...
Oh, crap.
Yeah, you've beaten all of these hit dice by like 3
Less
or
than
2
10.
or 3 each time.
You have beaten all of them within a range of 5.
Oh, lovely.
Precision German engineering.
Which
Out of bombs,
also
though.
it's partly actually a good sign. I balanced this quite well, as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've balanced it with the number of resources I'm expecting you to expend. Various things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there's Griffin
Okay.
token.
so good news. You've managed to repel the first wave with only minor issues.
Huzzah!
Jordan and Alex, unfortunately, they did not attract all of them, even though they did attract a large number. There's technically still some left.
Stealth checks.
However,
They can. You can. There is not so many that you can't steal from them. You can definitely try a stealth check.
I should try a stealth check.
The lower of your 2 checks will be used, but of course you're both really good at it.
Yeah.
Which is why I only set the 2 rogues.
Why don't? Oh yeah. I can get rid of the stealth penalty from the sulfur smell, can't I? Because of the deodorizer and shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then +2 or +4 because heroism, right?
Oh, it would be- it would only be +2, because you've already used that +4
Yeah.
on your...
That's true. You're down to
Oh,
plus
yeah.
Okay. Right.
So
Alex,
it's just +2.
ooh.
Oh, my heroism
Alex does
wasn't
have
active
the-
for my.
That sounds like
Oh, well.
Alex might have net wand.
Alex does have the
Alex
fortune
nat-
charm.
Alex nat 1 for 22.
He has the fortune charm from Sarah,
He does.
remember? So he can re-roll that dice, which...
Oh, I rolled poorly.
Would you wish for him to use the charm to reroll his 22 or not?
The problem is Jordas rolled a
It's only
25.
3
No.
higher.
No.
It's
Yeah,
up
don't
to-
use it.
It's up to Jortes's choice since it's his team.
Oh, true.
I mean, I
You
don't
did
know.
not. You did
what
not
is-
roll much higher, and you're using the lower of 2 rolls.
True. Yeah, using the lower of 2.
Yeah, you're
So it's
using-
at best a +3.
you're wondering if you get
Yeah.
detected at all. Is the issue.
No, we'll let it ride for now, and then we'll boost
Okay.
invisibility stuff if we get detected and
Okay.
run.
The swarm fails to find you.
Oh, good.
They only have a +9.
We drew most of them.
True,
Swarm
true.
only had +9, so you managed to evade what ones are kind of floating around your area. So the first hour, you guys are safe. As you continue your search.
Yay.
There's this constant... The one issue of trying to listen by buzzing, there's buzzing everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This ship has been infested.
Kind of surprised I didn't notice them before.
They were deep in the reactor at that point. Or deep in
Yeah,
the
and I
pipes.
have been spending a lot of time on the deck rather than in the ship.
They were deep somewhere is the main point.
Okay.
So, though this is an extreme amount, even for Torrens realize this is a lot of them.
Well, during this time, I'm going to give Rylan the lesser restoration for, well, it was a point.
It takes him down to 3 points of damage. He's out.
It did get rid of
Yeah.
his one of his penalties. So
Okay, we move on to hour 2 then.
I'm out of bombs, so Rylan needs to expend spells and fireballs, basically.
I mean, you got
unless you do have
Alchemist
Alchemist Fires to help with that.
Yeah, but, that's not very much damage.
It is an extra 50% on top of it, so at minimum it's 7 damage.
Well, actually, before I continue rolling, also those were exactly the same. Yay!
I know.
How many did you attract to this? Good question. I need to know how big the swarm is.
All right, let me roll mine first. Ooh, crap.
Even Vork is starting to feel the fact he's draining his body drive.
Yeah, I'm at -8.
Yes, you can literally just throw food at it because they'll get attracted towards the blood. Because
That's what I'm thinking
bloody-
we're going to do for the third hour. We
the food-
still have
Yeah.
we still have enough blood to run one more hour.
and then bank that they don't fail at trying to poison it. Because
Yeah,
otherwise-
exactly.
Then.
I can do one more, I
If
believe.
they start failing, they can retry it, but it'll take them longer because they're having to spend more time and retry things.
I imagine Silence going, I'm driving in my car, beep beep.
Driving in my car. Beep,
Solomon
beep.
has had run into a few problems. Nothing that's been major him. They haven't really tried biting him, but the fact that suddenly one of the suddenly one of the pressure gauges suddenly burst with insects.
Yeah. This is not a conducive thing for driving. This is not a conducive.
And
I
of course,
can't work under these conditions.
Yep, that's me done.
Yep.
Yeah, I cannot expend any more cons safely.
would you like Ryland to?
Yeah, same.
No, we've got 4 doses of con here. I think that's enough.
Okay.
Well, yeah, with the big group that we got rid of last time, there's less total on the ship. So
I mean, there was a lot on the ship, but yeah, there's going to be less.
we've taken out a good chunk of them.
I'm down to 4 con.
I know how you feel. I am as well. Or I have 10 damage out of 14.
Yeah, Ryland will go with kind of following the same thing Torm did before, of 3 attacks at a time, 3 major attacks, 3 fireballs.
Whoosh. Admittedly, his fireballs are bigger than mine, so.
Admittedly, in his defense, they're not his. Well, actually, against him, it's not his fireballs.
Yeah, it's a wand. So
It just happens to be right. Though Ryland is surprisingly skilled with using a wand.
that's good.
Magic missile.
Surprisingly,
I mean, there's
surprisingly,
one
so
spell
that
list, so-
surprisingly, so the DC is not minimum DC.
Oh, good.
Even though it's a wand, he gets to make the DC slightly higher.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So that's a
Oh, he took something for evocation, didn't he?
He's taken some things to aid him.
okay, so that would be
what's that? That puts it at
79.
79. He destroys
78.
our 1's attack. Or 2 attacks? Oh, 2 attacks.
Hour
Hour
2.
2.
Our
Yeah,
2
it's
attack.
hour 3 next. So
Yes. He destroys our 2 attack without too much issue. The hunt is still going on upstairs. The safety group, unfortunately, does not get away completely unscathed. Some do eventually slip up to them. Sarah,
Sarah's
you get to
turn.
be the one to choose how this is designated. There is a total of 2 points of Constitution damage. You may choose to share it as you wish.
Renan, how are you feeling? No, wait, Renan, your con's awful.
He is a squishy elf.
All of their con is awful.
No,
You have the no con group.
I mean,
No.
not all, well, that's the reason they're up there in the first place.
Mhm.
however, you do have Anna, who can. Does she have restoration
right.
or less?
Anna.
restoration?
You take the
you
damage.
don't know what spell she has, properly.
Yeah.
I mean, con group's not terrible. Okay, Renan's certainly got the worst con because Renan's con is, the negatives. So
Yeah. So,
See, 'cause the
Elliot,
thing is that-
Elliot has 12 con. You don't know how much Anna's got.
Let
if
me
you,
just
if you
quickly-
just split it between 2, it doesn't give you guys any penalties.
That's true.
1
point of con damage does not do any penalty. It just is.
Yeah.
a thing.
So just no matter where you actually allocate it, make sure to split it.
Anna, Elliot, please.
Okay, Anna and Elliot take 1 point each as they kind of get bit and stuff before Sarah fireballs them away, or whatever waves them away.
Probably Aqua's orb off the side of the ship.
Sure. Nope, grow. Get back there.
Just what a town we're flying over just gets bombarded by water orbs filled with bugs.
I'm sorry.
They're dead bugs.
Sign line. Where are we flying right now? Roll me a geography check.
Oh, geography? Sure. Skills, knowledge, geography. Add 5 to the results. 30.
Nice.
Currently, the area Sideline is flying over and knows the area surprisingly well. These are currently just falling down a large section of mountainside. You are flying away from dwarves after all. So you're just supposed to be able to bombard some dwarven cave with these, but oh well.
Talon leans out the window, waves at some dwarves.
They can't see him because he's a mile in the sky.
At the tiny
Yep.
spectrum distance, you think they're dwarves.
Yep.
Turns out they're actually goblins. You really insulted them. And somehow they know you did.
As Sarlai like takes out his rifle, attaches the spyglass and snipes them. Okay. Sideline, your area is also filled with a sudden amount of them.
Mhm.
And actually, some of them do actually try to bite you a little bit.
Ah, get out of my eyeballs!
Sideline has the choice that he can try to spell them to death, or he can accept very minor damage. His choice.
I always have I always have spells prepared for combat. But the question is there going to be combat after this?
You don't know.
Well, you did already
here's the
type
thing-
that you
here's the
jammed
thing,
a rifle
Sideline.
You know
down the
what?
pipe
Yeah,
and burning
no-
hands.
Yeah, one of the dials bursts, suddenly recoils from it, jams his rifle down the pipe before most of them come out and burning hands down the pipe.
Sure, roll me burning hands. The fact you're using such a high DC is also being taken into account for this.
Okay, good.
Yay, DCs.
14, DC not 16, but it's DC something
DC
stupid.
DC ludicrous.
Yeah, something stupid.
And as a result, instead of
DC
times
DC
you
minimum
can't.
20.
instead of times it by 1.5, I'm just times it by 2.
Yeah.
Yay.
Whoosh.
28 damage down.
Sure, sideline prevents 1 point of damage to it, 1 point of con damage to himself.
Yay.
Also, good news, you've cleaned out the pipe.
Yay!
I
You
just
also
imagine
destroyed
Sideline-
any mechanisms behind the dial, but oh well.
And
No, it's just fire. This place is really heat safe. Especially the internals.
Heat is not the easy way you kill this ship. Use
Mhm.
cold to destroy the ship, not heat.
Good to know.
And even then,
It was buried under ice water.
No, it was buried underneath the lake, though admittedly it wasn't in contact with the lake. The whole point is, the thing is, it was also caused in protection. But if it starts freezing too much, like while it's in flight, you're gonna have like parts that are just shrinking and stuff. It's like,
Yeah, true.
Yeah, if you can light the ship on fire all day, but as soon as you start freezing it, it's fine. Yeah, you get screwed.
so sonic damage is a real problem. You'll start actually breaking the copper.
Yep.
yeah.
So I took 1 point of con?
You take no points of con.
No. Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
You
you prevented the one con with burning hands.
There was 25 hit points worth of swarm.
Boom. That'll do.
Because they're
I'm
so
down to 9 hit points.
because they pick up who's around, because they have scent, they have various things. Yeah, they kind of they're hunting. Jortas and Alex have managed to stay hidden for now.
Because we're awesome.
Yes, hour 3 is now the real thing of how well does hour 3 go? Their final hour, which is also an important hour for them because they probably don't want to get detected while they're right next to the nest.
Yeah, that could be awkward.
Time to make a big, bloody, meaty mess.
I think it's ration time.
Alex is gonna hate me for this one.
What are you doing?
Oh, let's make a big, bloody, meaty mess.
How much?
A big one.
How about 20 days?
3 days?
20 days of
It's a-
rations.
It's a little less. It's about a quarter of our rations. So
Basically, create this huge pile of meat. You make the smell waft somewhat. Maybe cut it a bit so that some of the more blood runs out.
You know, add some of our blood on top of it to marinate it.
I think he means 20 rations, J-Mac, not 20 days
Yeah.
of party worth of rations.
no, not 20 days of the entire party. I mean just 20 days in general.
Yeah, just
20
20
days for a
rations.
single person.
20 units of rations.
Okay,
Yes.
so sure. If you want to go ahead and expend that, go ahead and drop. I don't know what if you've got the rations in particular drawing from yourself or you're drawing it from the ship's pool.
Actually, yeah, Torin, don't you still have some like personal rations?
Not really. I added my rations to the general pool, and then I paid like 600 gold, so I wouldn't have to keep track of my own eating.
Oh yeah.
In that case, would Sarah like to reduce the number of rations by 20?
Done so.
Okay, and essentially, Rylan happens to have all the food you guys need with. Just happened to have brought it down. He suspected this.
Good lad.
Ooh.
You're thinking ahead.
Ignore
Proud
the
of
fact
you.
he's also a bit of a glutton, but at times,
Question: what's the wisdom? Torn, what's the wisdom score of a vermin like this?
the wisdom score of these things generally floats somewhere around 13.
Okay, never mind. I was hoping that it was somewhere like 2 or 1
Wow.
because I have some flay leaf that I could burn for them.
No,
These things are wiser than Jortes.
yeah, they're natural hunters. Their charisma, meanwhile, is actually lower than everyone else in the party. Their charisma is only about it's somewhere between 2 and 5.
You
But
know,
their strength,
once upon a
strength
time,
is where we'll get them.
Their
once
strength
upon a
is
time, that was still higher than
their strength
Jortes's.
their strength is ranges between 1 and 3. So
Yeah.
it's not particularly impressive. Sure. 20 food. Any blood being added?
Yeah, we need to add blood to this.
You don't have to add blood.
Here,
You can add
I'm gonna try one roll, and if I roll a 0, I'll try another. Rolled a 1. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you can safely add more.
Remember, Rylan's
No,
only added
I
3
can.
Rylan's only added 3 points so far, so he could add more.
I am 3
Yeah,
off
I
of
thi- I
dying,
think-
though. So.
Yeah, let's have you not.
But remember, I can't. They'd need
Yeah,
to stay on
you
me.
you can't roll max, but you being on 1 con is not a good idea.
Okay, yes, that's true. However, something else you need to remember is these things need to stick to me for a while before that will actually. But yes, I'm
No.
okay. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I'd like Rylan to donate once or twice to this.
You'll add 2
Once.
points.
Okay,
Brings
there we
him
go.
five-
So that's
Which means he's at 5 points expended, bringing him, I think, down to. I think he's down to 8. He's down to 8.
he's taken 5 damage, so he's only taking a -2 on all of his con.
I think he could,
Oh
I think it was
no! I just had an idea.
Hmm.
If they're suffering, I have a magic idea that I could pull. I'm gonna keep it like that for now. But if you guys start having problems, say like over the intercom or something.
Well, the next
Well,
part.
you would probably know we're running out of resources, so we hope that they kill the swarm quick.
Well, I have good news and I have bad news for you.
Hmm.
Good news if you attracted a decent chunk. That's the good news. The bad news is this decent chunk is also pretty big.
Okay, Rylan, you have a lot of stuff, and Torin, you have a ton of alchemist fire, and we can open the vault if need be.
You can, of course, in emergency, open the vault and just attack at your own hit points, essentially, but you'll hurt them.
I have 9
And that's
hit
why we
points.
don't let you go down
And
to
that's-
1 con.
And that's why I'm saying to send. That's why I was going to say send you and Rylan away.
You can shift yourself into hiding if you wish.
Yeah, and then I will open the vault. I have 27 HP still.
And of course, whenever the vault attacks, you're taking 20 less damage.
Yeah.
So. Because pretty much you can basically tell the vault to attack, and it will attack until you tell it not to attack anymore. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll keep my cure wounds extracts on standby. Riley and I are gonna go into hiding.
Okay.
After cleaning ourselves up
Yeah,
and
just hand me-
deodorizing. We're going to deodorize and get the hell out of there.
I mean,
And
Rylan,
Right,
has
so
still,
just leave your
Rylan-
extracts with me.
Rylan does still have a lot of hit points on him, so he could probably survive.
I
Okay.
have 9 hit points, and I need someone to protect me in case I fall over.
Yes, the main point is essentially Ryan could come back down, essentially, if you wanted.
Yeah, if he needs to go back down, he can. But for right now,
Because he could certainly serve before, and he can certainly still blast his own resources before cooking the 2 of them.
Yeah, I kind of want him to do that. He stays down here and leave the alchemist fire, and we'll use all this stuff first. And then if there's still some left over, I'm going to open the vault and have Rylan skedaddle.
all right.
All right.
Don't use all of his wands of fireball unless we really need to. Save those for the end.
Yeah, he's about to just roll a bejesus amount of burning hands.
That's perfect. That's what I want.
I mean, do you want me to stay to throw my 10 flasks of alchemist fire, because then I can add
You've
my
got them. I
intelligence
can
bonus
do
on
that.
that.
4.
Oh, yeah,
I add my intelligence bonus to the
That is-
damage. So you want me to just stay long enough to throw my alchemist fire and then bounce?
Yeah, it sounds like a plan.
Stay and throw like 5 vials and then leave.
Yes, I would have. Also, by the.
Yes.
There you go. Have very nearly 50 damage. 48 damage.
Times 1.5.
75 damage. Effectively.
Effectively.
Meanwhile, Ryan's going to use 3 burning hands.
Yay. So that's okay. So that's another 55 and a half. 48 times 1.5 would be plus 24, so 72. 72 plus 55 plus. Okay, that's. Yep, 127 and a half.
And actually, for this wave, that will be enough.
Okay, good.
That you can cook it apart.
That's also the same amount of damage you did on the last really big ball.
Mm-hmm.
It is true.
We keep doing
Like,
this.
even down to the 0.5.
Yes.
I know. It's great.
Torin, you will be escorted up to the top deck.
Yeah, Torin is just white as a ghost
You're lucky that.
and covered in blood.
Good news, Jortes and Alex have now found the location in question. They get
Huzzah.
one free attempt at this. A failure means this group must spend another hour to attempt it.
Like, what
I'm glad
kind
George
of
has
check would it be?
Well, this here is going to be a skill challenge between the two of you.
I will be informing Alex exactly how to use this poison and telling him, don't get it on you.
Yeah, he does have the fortune charm, so.
And that,
Yes, he does not have poison use, but he'll see what he can do.
yeah.
Right. First thing is the pair of you need to come up with someone to go ahead and make me a perception check.
Me, I think.
You're certainly better than Alex is.
Alex is a bit of a one-trick pony, but their one trick is very, very useful in this scenario.
Yeah, I mean, heroism would have run out by now. Would Tears to Wine still be running?
No.
It'd be many
No.
hours later, so no.
So basically, I don't have any buffs left. Yay.
You're relying on
I
good old-fashioned elf ears.
Unless you came
Yeah.
up to
What
deck
do your
for another heroism.
elven ears hear?
I still have spell slots left. If you
Yeah,
want another
but
heroism.
I imagine we're like deep within the ship now. I don't think like each hour we could come back up to the deck, get heroism, go back down again.
If you find a window, I could come down.
I mean, Sarah would put herself at more risk of being attacked, essentially.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the windows don't open, remember?
That's also
Oh,
true.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
also true.
Because to prevent depressurization or sinking.
I mean,
Oh,
I could
actually,
smash a window, but no.
if it is a close range spell, does that require line of effect or line of sight?
It generally depends on what the spell kind of says.
Because I do have reach spell.
Because it just depends what kind of the spell kind of goes for.
I think
Generally,
most buff spells are line of effect.
Most of them are line of effect, as long as there is a path to get to them.
Okay.
Which-
then never
So,
mind.
no.
A window would block.
Mhm.
So this is just
It's
blog old
it's
standard
very- it's very-
perception.
it's very rarely line of sight unless it specifically calls out a creature in sight range or something like that.
Mhm.
Okay. So no. Sorry, can I-
For example, if Elliot was performing on the other side of a glass window, that would still work because you only have to see and hear.
Okay, I'll lower Elliot down to you.
Would Alex be able to aid?
He can automatically aid your perception check
Yeah, I have a +2 on this. Woo.
because he can't fail to aid.
32.
He's got more than a 10 bonus. The problem is you have double his bonus literally right now.
Christ, I rolled an 8 on that. Jeez.
You have a plus 24. He has a 12. It's like
Yeah,
Is that with or without his aid
that's
bonus?
with. That's
Okay.
with.
Okay,
Yeah, still that's plus 24.
so
Beats 30.
that certainly is a degree of success.
Yay.
The next is the next part of it for the setup is basically are you quiet enough?
Stealth check.
Mm-hmm. You'll be considered aided for this as well.
Do
Well,
we
actually-
want to just pop our
actually, that depends.
invisibilities?
You will not get a visibility for the purpose of this.
God damn it.
unfortunately. A good question actually is, what is Jortes' stealth?
Plus. Where's that buff coming from? That buff shouldn't be there. I don't know any buffs running.
This is a completely valid point.
I have a mysterious +2 on this, and I don't know why. But it's a plus 19, my stealth.
Okay, your stealths are identical. So just go
Means
ahead.
one of you can aid.
So just go ahead and roll stealth at 21.
Right. 37.
Oof, that's a good.
They're equally good at staying hidden from each other. The only difference is Jortes could still find Alex, and Alex could not find Jortes.
It's a very one-sided game of hide and seek.
Yeah.
That's how things go. Okay, that is 2 successes. Next is a survival check for underground / tracking purposes.
Oh god, I am untrained in survival.
So is Alex, but Alex is admittedly for the purpose of underground, which this would qualify for, even though you're technically in the sky. Technically, this would qualify for underground purposes. He has a +8.
Well, I think we know who it's going to be.
Yep, I have a +3.
Did you want to try and aid him?
I will try. Okay, just take. Oh no, there. It's finally updated to get rid of mysterious buffs which shouldn't have been running. So yay. Yeah.
You success.
Yep. Ooh, that's only a 20.
Yeah, but 20 is a good benchmark.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get him to re-roll that if you'd rather take the better.
No.
No.
Don't want to risk that.
Okay, that is that. Unfortunately, neither of you can redo the nature check.
Untrained, but yeah, no.
So we just skip over the nature check and say that's automatic failure, but it's fine. You've got 3 successes so far. That's doing pretty good. The next one is an engineering check, or if either person has trap finding,
I have trap finding.
they may attempt to stabilize.
Well, I have fake trap finding, but it's good enough.
Yes, if they have that, they attempt trap finding instead of the engineering check.
Right. I'm going to trust his engineering or disable device is worse than plus
There's
17.
no trap finding.
So yeah.
And his engineering is currently untrained.
Yeah. So 34.
That is a success. Okay. With that, you do manage to assemble enough successes, though it's going to be still hurt the two of you. That you're going to be able to basically set up an opening, set up a situation, and get to a point where Alex could try to squeeze inside and deliver the poison.
All right, question. Can I make it so they don't take damage?
How?
Yeah, how?
I have a bit of magic going on here. I got a few of things. One of them is called blood money.
Okay.
Yes, it is. How do you
The
apply
next
that
one
to
is
this?
hydraulic torrent.
Okay.
Can I use my powers over necromancy and stuff like that to make them, instead of the hydraulic torrent being water, make it blood using an accent of blood money? I will still have to burn my strength doing this, but it's gonna basically coat the main room with blood.
You can attempt something. You can attempt something here with this.
You will draw a lot to you.
That's the point. Next action would be run the fuck away.
Run away valiantly!
Okay, sure. Sideline can
Take times.
attempt this. Firstly, by making the intelligence-based C&B check.
Team B?
Intelligence.
The hydraulic check.
Yes.
Yep, the
Right.
hydraulic torrent check. So that'll be step 1 for this.
I mean, I'm fine taking
Which in this
damage
case
if you
is
can
so
just
much
draw
more-
it away from Alex.
Which in this case is more about...
28.
Okay. 28. Okay. Then the other thing that I'm going to require from sideline. Let's see. Well, sideline, how much strength do you want to expend? Actually, I need to know.
Well, a bunch of stuff he's gonna dump on the ground, and then he's gonna burn somewhere upwards of 6.
Capture burning. 6 strength?
6 strength.
As suddenly oil turns to blood.
Which then turns to reagents.
Mhm.
Which then turns back into blood.
Well, no, the reagent is blood. So,
Yep.
Ah, true.
He's turning oil into blood.
So much better than water into wine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
He's like an incredibly morbid Jesus.
On that check,
Someone should
sorry,
send that to out of
a nature
context
check or a
D&D.
heal check, your choice.
Wait, what?
A nature check,
Nature or
local check, or
heal.
heal check. One of these three for me.
Or local. Yeah.
Nature,
Don't
heal,
you have local?
I have local.
Yeah, nature, heal, or local. Any three you can qualify.
Oh, well. You know, which one would be the most effective one? Would I know?
Heal would be the most effective.
But that's wisdom based, so
Probably
you can't
followed-
really use visualization of the mind to boost that through the roof.
Probably,
No, but I can make it so I have the actually as skill ranks.
that's true. The
True.
nature would be second most effective, and local would be third most effective.
Well, I'm gonna go with nature.
Nanite Surge?
Nanite Surge.
Because essentially, how realistic does Sideline make this blood?
It's goddamn perfect. It's goddamn.
It is blood. I don't know what you're talking about. How could it be anything else?
It's
I
also,
can't believe it's not blood.
It's also of course the degree which it's it's also the degree which you attract, which it's a good kind of blood to attract them in question.
Mhm.
So
It's perfect dwarven blood.
well, you
Freshly
actually
harvested from Thorlock.
in secret.
I
Suddenly,
am
all the blood
maybe
around you
dwarf.
guys, all around blood around that's been sucked up by you guys, suddenly teleports out of the Strigs and then into this hydraulic cannon of blood that goes to the bridge.
Okay then. In that case, that is that lower the degree on attack to Jortes and Alex by 3 steps, which brings them down to the minimum one step of damage, which is wow. Each of them take 1 point of con damage, and each must roll 1 fortitude save, and that's the entire damage.
And run away!
Let's see.
Because essentially,
damage.
you see essentially this suddenly rush of blood through the pipe systems.
Sideline pushes over the button
What
of the
hell
intercom.
am I
I'm helping!
doing?
And Starlight is coated red as a demon.
And you say a fort save?
1 fort save
Disease?
against disease.
Could I twist away to turn that into a reflex?
If you wanted to.
I certainly want to. It gives me another +6 on this.
Wow.
Yeah, I have 4 fort and 10 reflex, so yeah.
Let me check the insects. The DC. What'd you roll?
16. Still probably a fail, but
Oh, you're by 1.
I
I will now roll for Alex, which you
do I
gain.
have
you reroll
anything
that?
I was gonna say, do I have anything that can boost that?
Let's see, what Torin you gave him? There's insurance. Just need to check what you gave him. Entries. I have a feeling that was reposted.
I'm fine getting diseased.
I'm just double checking what did Torin give to Alex. I +2. I see. Any more? I think that's it.
At some point I used my anti-plague as well. Oh, yeah, I think we just started
Okay, my Google
chucking them
Chrome.
at Ren
Okay,
and
my
a
Google
while
Chrome is
back.
totally crashing. What do I do with that? Could one of you please go ahead and roll me a fortitude save for Alex, which is currently a +6, so he gets to roll twice.
I do it.
Back.
He gets to roll twice and take the better of the 2 results.
12 and 13.
Wow, so he failed as well.
Yay!
He had 2 rolls, he failed both of them. Oh well. You know, the disease, you can deal with that later, right?
Yeah, once the ship is more or less safe, we can rest on the way to the next destination and
Okay.
heal.
So essentially, though, you get to the location in question, you get everything set up. Jortes gives a boost to Alex to get him up high enough. And get into what Jortes finds as a remarkably small section of pipe, essentially. because, well, let's put it this way: a small-sized creature would struggle to move through it. He's moving through it with ease.
Goddamn liquid kids.
Context-wise, essentially, this would be like it would be kind of like Jortes trying to move through a tiny sized space. Except Alex is moving through it. Alex is small size, but Alex is moving through this just with a squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
Not with a move through tight space, which is wait, what?
Yep, liquid kid. He just becomes one with the water that's coming down.
He
Exactly,
becomes one with a torrent of blood.
This is why I like to call him my liquid cat snake.
Not one on applying the poison. He gets to reroll that.
Yep. This is why we save him.
Ah!
Oh
What the
God,
crap,
Alex,
Dark?
why have you failed me?
Let me double check something.
I call bullshit. I call complete bullshit.
bullshit.
Sarah's charm is ineffective.
It can't do saves. Skills or concentration checks.
This is a skill check, not a save, but... Let me...
I mean, he should get a save against the poison as well.
He will get a save against the poison as well. I just need to... Actually... Yes, he can attempt that. Da-da-da! Yes! Okay. Because he did have one other trick up his sleeve, which technically worked, so he'll have to pay for that later, but oh well. The mission takes some time until essentially George is kind of waiting there, not having a response for a bit, suddenly hearing this really, really loud buzzing, and suddenly suddenly the head of Alex in red hair pop out the end of the pipe as he crawls out.
Yep, grab him, help him out.
And that's going to you. We should get out of here.
Yep. Already going.
Which the slowest move speed between you is Alex's 35 feet, which, yep. Whee!
Yep.
Oh, good.
Good news, they were successful. All characters may now go into hiding and choose to wait out the storm if they wish.
As shown by my little graphic I did of sideline, of course I am doing this.
Whee!
Okay, good.
Running.
Crap, oh crap, oh crap. Running.
Okay. With that, though, the situation takes about a day or two to resolve itself properly, unfortunately.
Mm.
Because, of course, the insects need time to nest and die of the poison.
Mm-hmm.
But they most certainly will.
And thankfully, there's a lot fewer of them because we burned through a lot of those things down there.
Sideline, I have good news for you.
Mm.
Sideline did eventually see, we should really turn left, or else we're going to crash into a mountaintop.
Yay!
And manages to avoid the ship crashing. That's the good news.
Good.
Even while he's kind of just soaked in just pitch of blood. Sarah, please expend me 2 days of food.
Can do.
That's 7 rations.
Running.
Does Alex come back to hide with the rest of us, or does he just disappear into the pipework again?
He is not disappearing in the pipework in the current state of it.
Also, does Worf show up?
The gnome certainly shows up.
Oh, thank God.
And Alex does technically show up for you, though, as usual, he's...
I imagine Torn's probably helping hide them.
Yeah, unless you stop them, they're going to be hiding. But they're going to be,
That's fine.
Oh no, they are more than welcome to hide. I will in fact
feel free.
help him hide.
Like, you know they're in the safe area, just, they're hiding up here.
Yeah, I'll help him hide.
Well, Torns is kind of laying against something, just kind of not wanting to move a muscle.
You were constantly under threat over these days. There are constant insects popping up and trying to bite at you and various other things.
Squish.
It takes some time, but eventually the infestation can be purged.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good.
saying mosquito pets.
Now,
No,
Downs-
J-Mac.
So, for everyone who became infected,
Hi.
Torin,
Aye.
Jortes, and Alex, each take 1d4 points. This is for Torin, Jortes, and for Alex, of wisdom damage.
Oh god.
Well, the
I'm
good
down
news
to
is
10 wisdom.
I'm down to 9.
And all of you are fatigued.
oh dear, great.
However, there's also a point you have 2 days worth of being able to heal up your constitution damage. Well, 1 day of able to heal your constitution damage at least. Yes, you have 1 day at least you could do it. We haven't spent
Take
it.
me
Good, that'll
back
be
to
nice.
none.
You have 1 day.
Thork
For
will
anyone
Thork
dealing
will
with
provide
constitution-
long-term care to everyone.
That just means I recover 2, right?
Yeah, it means you'll recover 2 from long-term care. You would. You can't
Is it
get
a
20.
full day or the night?
It won't really be night because you can't really do full day right now, just because of the fact you're constantly being bombarded by insects still.
Okay.
It's not like you're doing your best on what you've got.
Okay. Well, now it might be time for restorations, please.
Yeah, you have 1 day worth of restorations as well. You can shoot around.
Yeah, let's see. A day's worth? I have 8 of them, probably. Well, no, I'd have... remove diseases. Okay, so I'd have 5 of them. First thing I need to do, because, I need to figure out who is diseased, is to remove my, at least 3 points of my, wisdom, so I can use my goddamn heal checks.
I mean, you're only taking
So-
-1. So
Okay, I have no wisdom damage right now. Excellent. That's exactly what I wanted to see.
It becomes quite clear who is sick and who isn't because the disease makes everyone who has it very sleepy. Very sleepy.
Which isn't
Okay.
that different to normal for Jortes.
Well, no,
but...
we're talking though. Jortes is just super drowsy no matter what he's doing. So,
Okay,
Which isn't that
so-
abnormal, but...
I mean, even for Jortes.
Now for people with large amounts of con damage, i.e. me and Thorok.
I realize Brian has 5 as well.
yeah, but
Yeah,
I've got
but we-
10.
It's still a decent.
Yeah, no, aren't you guys forgetting, the night we had to rest up and remove some of that con damage?
I did, but I was providing long-term care. I cannot provide that to myself.
Yeah, this is true.
And you
so,
could not provide it to me. So I was at 11.
So yeah, me and Rylan got long-term care for that.
So both of you have 2 points back.
So that means Rylan's at what, -3? I'm at -6, so Thorok, you get 4 points of con.
Okay, that's nice.
Sarah,
Which means you and I are both at -6.
Sarah will mysteriously find her charm next to her after she wakes up one morning.
I'm just gonna let
And-
Alex keep the snap leaf.
You know what? Let's give Rylan some con. Yeah, I tried.
You gave him the dud.
It's a placebo effect. He'll think he feels a lot better, so he will.
The drowsiness.
So that was 3 of my 5 lesser restorations I have. So I should probably focus on the con, because disease. So I need more con. Yeah, thanks. I had the other dud. And who wants the last lesser restoration?
I mean, I've got wisdom damage, but that's not a huge deal.
I could really use that.
Okay, sure. Let's give it to
I'm
Thorok.
still at
There you
6.
go.
Okay. That brings me up to only I'm no longer taking a penalty to my con, basically.
Okay, so let's cure diseases. Does anyone have any anti-plagues? I don't have any.
I have
No.
one.
If we've got resources, I could mix them up, but no.
Yeah, but that takes you like days. We don't have like
It
days.
doesn't take me days. How much is an anti-plague? I shall work it out.
Like
Well, I
100.
cannot take 10 right now, so.
I mean,
I don't-
unless anyone has arsenic. Does anyone have arsenic?
Oh no.
I would
that's-
It is
Um,
entirely synthetic, so Jortes might be able to synthesize some of it.
I was thinking that poison as well.
Yeah.
Yes, so given time, Jortes might be able to synthesize it today.
I'm just trying to find
I
these
do not think
things
I have
and
anything.
so I can work it out.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything I can use to help you with disease, unfortunately. I don't have stuff to
Okay,
help
so
me.
no one has any anti-plague, which means I can't boost
No, I
my.
haven't. I have 8 anti-plague.
Arsenic
You
is
know,
a base
that'll
DC
work.
of 13.
Yeah, I just got
Reach
to it.
ticket.
Ah, okay.
Let's see, that means minimum.
It costs 120 gold. So
Yeah, that's the
It's
issue.
just every dose of anti-plague means I can add a +2 to my caster level check to overcome a disease with my remove disease spell.
Yeah, if I got aid and tist one, I could accelerate it once, even on that one. So that would be DC 18. Where's my calculator gone?
Didn't you accelerate it twice since you've got a +20? Oh no, it's
Oh,
+10.
wait, yes. Oh, it's +10.
also,
Well,
Yeah.
in
So no,
that case, I could only,
Accelerations are always in blocks of +10.
yeah, in that case, I could only do it once still.
also, I require for it to roll me a perception check.
Okay. No stone cutting or anything?
Nope.
We're in an airship.
You never know.
Unless
28.
it's a massive block of stone flying towards us, I don't think it's going to be that useful.
I mean, if it was a mountain, then yes, it would be.
I don't think that's the kind of thing we require a perception check for.
Yeah, in a week, I could make just under 5 arsenics. So it'd take me about a day and like 3 hours or something like that.
Alright, well, make me one dose of that.
That's assuming I roll a nat 1.
So it might be faster then.
And I can make you a dose of that if you like.
Okay, so who should I use my +10 to, like, my one dose of anti-plague to help with this remove disease? Myself, Jortes, or Alex? I'm leaning towards Alex because they're a kid.
I'm leaning towards Jortes because Alex rolls twice on disease,
That's true. He does.
That's true. But Jortes can twist
and
the
Jortes
news,
has a
so-
crappy fort save.
Yeah, do
Sure.
Jortes.
Here you go, Jortes. Have that. Does that beat the save DC?
Yeah, it was like 17. So yeah.
There you go. You're cured.
Yay.
So now I just
Shall I roll my alchemy
myself,
for your arsenic?
I'm cured, and Alex.
Oh.
Nope. Didn't work on Alex.
Which means I suppose Jordan will attempt to make it. We'll see if Jordan makes it in less than a day first.
Right. Let's see.
Oh.
No, it'll take
Sarah?
just over a day. Unless I can get a reroll,
If you want the fortune turn, you can have it.
I will have it. I will reroll. 41.
There we go.
That is significantly
Let's
better.
see. That means I
41
can
times
accelerate it twice to make it a DC 33.
Well, technically, you have to declare the.
Oh,
acceleration.
well, I'll go with the acceleration once then, since that was what I was planning on.
Because you declare the acceleration before you roll, so basically, because you're gambling at the point.
20. Yeah, I can make about 7.9 of them in a week, so yeah, just over one a day.
Okay. In which case, sure, you have a you have one.
A dose of arsenic. There you go.
If you wish to, you can give it to them. They will take the damage from the dose of arsenic.
Just the first damage.
They'll unfortunately the arsenic will have to run through the system, which will deal all 42 points of damage.
Yeah, unless they save before.
Well, Alex has more than 8 con, right?
He does.
Then he's fine.
Also,
I'll just keep a good eye on him.
And you can still treat poison on him. It's once a minute, so
He only technically has to accept the first dose of damage. Technically.
yeah, which takes 10
Good.
minutes. So
Good. Then I can just wait on standby for that.
Yeah, he'll take 2 points of damage from the.
From the initial
First.
dose.
Also,
the onset.
Disease will cure.
Also, I just want to point out, I don't think I can fail to treat poisoning on arsenic.
No, I don't think you can. Either.
It's a DC 13, so
If you want, I could
I
delay poison him
just
anyway.
I just want to point out I have a stupidly high heal check versus treating poisons right now.
Hmm.
I don't think.
And
we
I
should
don't
be
have anything
delaying.
to raise the DCs, so yeah.
And he purges it out of his body.
Yeah, he's got a good fort save anyway.
His
I
ba-
hope
his
you
ba-
like leeches.
He has base +4, and you got given +4 more from treats. So
So who's paying for that dose of arsenic?
Sure. How much is it?
Base 120, like a third for crafting, and then what,
Times 3, so
triple?
120.
So yeah, 120 still.
yeah, so that's a thing. But with that, the group successfully manages to. Because the group successfully managed to purge the ship.
Yay!
Everyone who was diseased,
There you
everyone
go.
diseased,
120 gold spent.
and you lose your fatigue conditions.
Yay.
God, the tea
We're clean.
sucks.
And you can go back to your normal business. And Sideline, of course, great jinxing from Sideline.
Torn is going to be spending a lot of time with Alex just cleaning the entire ship.
This is going to take a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, Thor can help that, and
Especially when
Everyone
any,
can.
especially when any of you walk into the control room and you see Sideline there.
Like, God damn it,
What
Sideline.
the fuck happened?
You happened!
And as Arla just kind of comes over and tugs on Sideline's lab coat. You did it.
What?
You did this.
Yeah, I did. It was kind of fun.
The entire time, so Arla's air walking, so she's like an inch off the ground. She doesn't have to touch all the blood everywhere.
Yep.
So congratulations, you guys succeed. You lose 2 days
No
of
more
time.
con damage.
You do essentially lose 2 days of time, unfortunately, because you're not properly able to pilot while you're like, ah!
yeah, that's fine. If we lost
How
2
much-
days of time, then we can
That's
spend that time actually caring for people who have con damage and everything.
Well,
There you go. Thorax should be at full con.
Well, the point is that's the time this entire event is basically taken up.
Rylan should be at full con.
good.
I'll lose 1 wisdom damage from resting. Yay.
And there you go. You can have your wisdom back because I know you don't have much of it.
Hey, I have 12 max.
It's better for me.
Just because I don't use it doesn't mean I don't have it.
Yeah, you also got to remember that Sideline does actually have 13 strength, so
Yes,
it's not bad.
yes, everyone may return to their normal quarters. This event has been resolved.
Okay, we have a new policy aboard the ship. Sideline is not allowed to speak about future events pertaining to the ship.
All would
Yeah.
agree. Say aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Huh, my divination qualities have been far supersede Anna. Supersede Anna.
No, you said nothing would happen and then something happened. When she says nothing will happen, nothing will happen.
Well, my divination has a healthy dose of irony.
The problem is Anna rarely says anything.
Because she knows better.
It's a divinist curse. The group, yeah, I said that the group can return to its normal locations as you so choose to.
Oh, I'll have to get rid of my running animation. I like that.
I mean, you keep
there's
it, you keep
nothing
running
stopping
around-
Sideline
You
from
can
just
be
running.
running around in circles in the core room.
That's true. I don't tire.
Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Eventually you're going
Yes,
to
it
put a foot
does.
in a
I'm
hole.
imagining
or a
this
hole in the floor.
cartoon. I imagine this cartoonish groove in the floor.
Oh god. I know you love to fix things, but Jesus.
That's how he drills his way down.
That's his plan for finding the holes in the ship. Make them himself.
I can make another running animation if I need it.
So,
There you go.
unfortunately, I said you lose 2 days of time, but that's not the biggest concern for you guys. You're running decent on time. You are.
For a change.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything really majorly pressing, so.
I mean, other than someone's soul being very slowly ripped away.
And
But,
someone else slowly mutating to death.
Yeah,
You know,
Fine.
things.
Look, in the worst case, if I accidentally breathed him all the bugs, I would have had +6 to save against that.
We could have just tanked you up with fucking sneezing powder and pointed you at them.
We could have, but that's expensive.
Dekka, 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 dekka.
This is extremely unpleasant.
Other than that, you get a nice clear day of flying
Yay.
God.
Good.
where nothing happens. like so much so that Renan almost falls asleep at the wheel because nothing happens.
No.
But no, he does not.
Ship suddenly just veers wildly to the left. Right then.
It was Sideline's fault. Honest.
I occasionally do things like, pump one of the gauges ridiculously high occasionally just to keep him on his feet.
Other than that, there is one other thing that occurs during the flight.
Oh dear.
Which isn't so much an issue, more than a minor inconvenience. Any characters on the top deck of the ship?
Oh god.
The top deck of the ship.
I'm sorry, at this point I would be testing the Griffin and stuff.
Okay. Huge
And also hanging out with Anna.
gale force winds blow past.
Well, I'm glad I always tie myself down.
This isn't so much a big problem, as all of you probably have the logistics to make sure you don't get blown off the side of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
But there is the minor inconvenience that some of you get thrown around wildly by mass winds. Also, from everyone up there, can everyone please roll me a d20?
Oh dear god.
Alright. 1!
18.
Sorry.
Big B, you're not on top deck.
The Griffin is not
Oh,
very
I'm not.
lucky.
Never mind.
Sideline.
Well,
Yeah.
Big B's can be Anna's roll or something.
Yep, I'll count it as Anna's roll. It's okay. Sideline is the only one. Sideline's the only one who rolled low enough. As the gale force wins, Sideline is perfectly attached to the top deck. Sideline is perfectly attached to the top deck. You know what's not perfectly attached to the top deck? Everything's
The
Sideline.
top deck?
Oh, yeah. Ow. Bird!
Well, I said you're carrying the bird.
No,
Well,
okay,
he is
it was
now.
a bird.
And Sideline loses a random item from his inventory.
No! No!
Sideline loses all of his fishing stuff?
Sweet. My fishing stuff!
How will I catch the skyfish?
And apparently Sideline loses... Yeah, I rolled on your item table. You lost your fishing stuff.
Yay.
As Gale Force Wind blew it away.
And everyone looks on like, why would Sideline carry fishing stuff?
I was wondering.
And some random farm who suddenly has like a fishing rod and a net suddenly land on his house.
Huh! I need to do one of those. I mean, they are masterwork, so.
They are. You lost masterwork fishing stuff. Like that's all that happened on that event though. It's a very small event. It's nothing big.
Yay.
And other than that though, Brennan will inform you. Also, I need you to remove another day of food. But tomorrow, you'll be arriving at Acton.
Yay. Finally. Now, just to warn you guys, I have no idea what I'm looking for here.
Interesting.
We begin our investigations. We will.
That's fine.
How much were we gonna get for like payment in this? I don't remember.
Not
10k.
Like 10 grand from the dwarf.
Okay. Yeah.
So worst case, it was at least worth it.
as the yes. Is there you guys essentially have one spare day of downtime to do as you wish it before you land? So it's up to you if you have anything more you want to do on that one kind of spare day you have of anything. But otherwise,
Message you.
yes. I'll just send it on Skype because.
Yeah. And if you want to wait till we land, that's fine, or do it now, whatever. Either or.
But as a group, though, if nothing else, all of you end up approaching towards the location. There isn't an easy spot to land. It turns out this village in the middle of nowhere doesn't really have a
Doesn't have a sky dock.
It doesn't have a sky dock, and there's no real like mountainside nearby for you to land on. So, for once, you can have one or two choices, which is either Brendan stays in the ship and kind of floats around in circles, or Brendan lands it and you just do all of the arduous task of trying to lift it off later. But the Like you can get on and off the ship easier that way. The downside though is it takes longer to take off.
How easy is it going to be to get the dwarf's cargo off if we don't land?
You could get it off. You have a griffin.
I'd
True.
say we should land it because knowing our quests and stuff, we're gonna be spending at least a few days here. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
The
landing it.
Essentially, the point is you can't take off in a hurry if you land it.
Yeah, just
That's
Okay,
find
so
it nearby.
nobody set the town on fire, and we should
Looking
be
at you,
fine.
sideline.
What?
Looking at you, sideline.
That is true. I currently have the record for. Wait, no. Doran, you
Yes.
set up an entire fire. We're tied for building set on fire.
Hmm.
Looking at
anyway.
you, sideline.
Okay.
You're chaotic. I'm not.
Well, but yeah, just find a lake or something to put down in, and we'll go from there. Turns
Well,
out
we
we
are
land in
river
the
kingdoms.
town's
We are kind of known
fountain.
for lots and lots of rivers.
There isn't
Turns
really-
out,
There isn't really a river around here that's like suitable for landing this kind of ship into.
Hmm.
I mean, this is
This
a galleon.
large ship.
Um,
It is a large ship.
the main point
Well-
though is a area can be found that does not interrupt, the harvest that's going on,
that's
and
true.
Brennan can begin the process of slowly bringing it down to land. Which is a slow process because Brennan has to be careful not to bury the ship into the ground.
Again.
And also because you probably don't want to leave too big of a mark on the ground because people will probably get quite upset if you leave a huge crater.
Yeah, it's a side effect.
Yeah, but still. So we have no idea what we're looking for here.
Well,
Let me just finish setting something to Jortes, and then I will continue.
while he's doing that, essentially, the reason Jortes wanted to come here was from Creepy Oracle Man, if you remember him.
Yep.
Basically, he shared a memory with Jortes about from when he met Carmilla down in this town. They shared cheesecake.
Cool.
But basically, going just from what I've got in my notes, which we all know aren't the best. But essentially, they were sitting at a table eating cheesecake. They were talking about an old shrine festival in the River Kingdoms, which apparently was within her old realms. And yeah, just this is the first clue of dealing with it. So that's literally all I've got. Just this town, and there's an old shrine festival. And cheesecake.
Mm. Is the cheesecake stop that they were at still open?
I don't know. Well, I'm
All right.
landing the same time you are. I haven't been here before.
Well, then I will investigate cheesecake. Anna, would you like to come investigate cheesecake with me?
Yes.
Good.
The rest of us, though. What are we doing?
I'm figuring out what I want to do.
Because do we know how long ago this was, Tinder? Their meeting?
Dark? Did I know that?
Quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
so
I told J-Mac at least a few years back, earlier.
We're talking.
yeah.
I mean, we're talking
Centuries.
It's a while ago.
So either we find someone who's been alive for centuries, which, well, this is Shihira, kind of unlikely, or we hit up whatever constitutes for our local library
And cheesecake places.
and cheesecake place.
Who knows? This could be an
I'm
ancient
pretty
cheesecake
good
place.
with-
We took a picture, like famous people who entered the restaurant.
Well,
I'm
it
pretty
could be.
good
She
with
wa- she-
libraries, so I can, hit up a library.
Because namely the things, at least from what I'm seeing, that we should research is either her old realm, because they're talking about old from that time, so that's kind of odd.
You have arrived, of course. You have arrived in the autumn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It is currently the harvest season.
oh joy. So that means probably not going to be many people about.
The fields are currently busy. The trees are losing their luster. The town is covered in pumpkins.
Oh
Ooh.
God.
The hell's
Oh,
with what
God.
the hell's up with the pumpkins? The people have an infestation of pumpkins.
No, pumpkins are okay. Kind
Are
of.
they? They're everywhere. Make them go away.
Some of them have.
What do you have against pumpkins? I like pumpkins.
I don't understand why they're here.
Some of them have strange faces in them.
That's
Yeah.
strange.
It'll be for some festival, hopefully.
Torn
Sideline
wants to
cast
learn
a
more.
te-
Torn wants
Sideline
to
cast
learn
detect
more
magic.
about this because Torn wants to learn more about this because he thought pumpkins were only for eating.
Sideline cast detect magic. Are they necromancy? I've seen various things like this with necromancy and skulls.
No.
Remember,
Just
guys,
watch. Just watch. There's going to be like a gourd leshy or something hiding here.
Just remember, I mentioned before I had that vision, God knows how long ago, and I saw like the statue of the pumpkin-headed guy with the scythe turned out to be related to some harvest festival or something, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, no wait, I have not seen
This
that.
would probably be that harvest festival.
Sarah,
So
indeed,
Exactly.
Sarah indeed has heard about this, like the harvest festival before, and Sarah rolled successfully for this.
Yeah, because
Yes.
this is. I think this is roughly the era which. Well,
Indeed.
not. Yeah, she grew up around.
Like
this.
you didn't grow up in like in this exact area, but you've
Yeah.
grown up in kind of areas somewhere that wasn't too far away that you've kind of heard of this.
Yeah. It's kind of like the UK effect. You've been one place, you've been everywhere.
So Torrens is going to blatantly state, if I'm not doing anything else, I am just going to be taking in the local culture. This is kind of fascinating to
Yeah,
me.
it's not a huge town. It's pretty small. The area surrounding it's just this huge swaths of farmland, huge areas of it. The one thing that does also become clear as you're kind of landing is the town also has disproportionately large, for its size, a graveyard, a massive graveyard.
Hmm.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to check that graveyard out.
With this nice,
Yeah.
fine, brightly painted white church in front of it.
It's a dull thought, and I'm sure it's not, but it's from the air. The graveyard doesn't look like laid out the same as the one I saw in that vision.
No.
No, I didn't think it would be, and I was really hoping it wouldn't be.
It's just a disproportionately large graveyard is all. Yeah, the ship comes to land. You are. I mean, it depends how exactly close you want to land.
Well, up to Renan. He's the one finding a landing spot.
Because he could try. I mean, if you wanted to be complete arseholes,
Just land on top of the buildings.
you could basically land in the farming fields straight out.
No.
Nah.
No. We don't want to ruin these people's opinion of us quite yet. We have to wait until we're inside town to do that.
You could land a moderate distance away, so kind of outside the farming area, but as close as you can get without ruining that. Or you might want to go further away and hide the airship, essentially. Somewhere they wouldn't easily notice the airship.
Keep in mind, the region we're in, Shira, is kind of used to weird stuff, so
It
it might
is.
not be too bad for us to land the airship here.
You're certainly in a region that is magic is very, very familiar for this region. People know it. People accept it.
Yeah, looks at Sarah. You don't say.
It's my home region. Surprise.
Acton is no exception to this rule. Would certainly be a case. Shira certainly has the. I mean, when you consider who rules it is a sorceress family,
Mm-hmm.
it says a lot about the region.
I say we don't try and hide the ship, but we land it not in the town.
We be respectful,
Yeah.
We don't run over their crops in the middle of harvest.
So we're not trying to hide, but we're staying a respectful distance away so as not to
Yeah.
freak people out or break anything.
Yes.
Sure, you can do that.
Yeah.
Brennan can find a suitable spot beside a huge field full of tomato plants.
Full of what?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes,
Ah.
tomatoes. YouTube definition. Plantation.
Tomato.
Tomatoes. Related to belladonna. Very interesting.
As Torin is going to start lecturing you all about
No,
this.
no, this is something Tor would probably stop right about there. Surprise.
Whom's back?
Well, not necessarily. She has other familiars as well.
No, Whom is back.
I'm afraid it won't be him.
No, it
What?
will be. It will be.
Oh, please tell me it's Seamstress Rat.
I don't know if I'll be having Cornelius come out. I'm still deciding. Give me like 5 seconds.
It'll be Whom.
I'm looking at familiars and trying to think what would be good for this situation.
Do you want something that blends into like the local animals or what?
Thrush?
I mean, it's not a bad idea actually. Thrushes are good, very good.
Frushes aren't too bad, and they're tiny.
Yeah, that's
And they can speak.
adorable. I'll go thrush, especially since I'm going to make it a sage familiar. Let's see, what am I going to name it?
As Sarah's calling to a different part of her aunt's pet shop.
Yeah.
Just on another plane, one of Sarah's aunts literally owns a pet shop, and she just teleports all the animals to and from, as they're called.
That
Yeah,
would be
basically.
really cool and make sense. That would be.
Yeah, actually.
I discussed this before with Sarah. It's very possible, like her grandmother or something, is actually like all of these familiars are literally just being borrowed.
Yeah, it's like when Graham runs a estate or something, just has a ton of animals. It's like, I use them sometimes. Okay, yeah, let's go for Thrush.
T-Wig? I'm gonna go with T-Wig.
I was gonna call her Maggie.
Maggie Magpie. No. Oh, Magpie. That's a good idea. Steals everything.
Not right now. That's a bad idea. Yes.
For sure. You shall arrive at the town. Harvest is in process. As you can disembark from the ship. The easiest route would actually be, instead, because you don't even need to put a gangplank down now, because one of the things that was actually mentioned was installing another way to disembark the ship near the bottom of the ship,
Yay.
which means there is actually a door near the prison that can be taken.
Good.
Yay, easy access for escapees.
Well, normally the
welcome.
whole point is if you're flying through the air, you can kick them out of that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
and
too.
this door seals, and it's got a very, very good lock on it.
It's true. It has to be. It's a water seal door, but in case you want to land this in the water,
Yep.
the bulkhead. But you can open it up and essentially let out a cargo platform, which you can even like load carriages onto this thing if you wanted to. There you go.
Good to me.
As
Yay.
the ship is landed, and essentially, unfortunately, you're starting gets a sad thing. Gets the sad sounds of the reactor going from kind of active to kind of going down to like low power state.
Aww.
It's just sleeping sideline. It's fine.
Send them up to farm up north.
Because the ship doesn't need to be at full power; it's just going to run power save.
Do airships dream of flying sheep?
Also, as is fitting, I need to remove the fuel for each day you were traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Can confirm this ship twitches in its sleep.
But you have arrived out of your destination as the crew. I assume the entire group going out to have a quick look. They arrive then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The,
Who else wants?
the landing group, whoever it may so be, as they kind of get off, can immediately kind of look over the long fields ahead. Various people working away. It's a very peaceful atmosphere. Some people of various ages, middle-aged, some in their teens, kind of working the fields and help picking stuff. The spellcasters of the group will actually, I think everyone in the group at this point will recognise with spellcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
As they hear someone casting spells, casting a spell nearby, as they kind of look over and see a kid essentially pranking another one with a daze spell.
And now you see why I feel like Eyrie is ass backwards.
Oh, trust me, I know. No offense, Riley.
It is nice
No
to
offense,
see
Elliot.
a little bit of a change.
Yeah, it's definitely not like a malicious thing. It's a very playful thing going on. And you see, like a few minutes later, suddenly the other person getting tapped on the shoulder by like a mage hand because they can. It's a thing. There is even known some areas of Europe where everyone knows some magic. There is only a single cantrip they know some magic because it's so prevalent.
Ah. Anyway, before we start getting stared at like a bunch of bumpkins, we should probably head into town. Again, bumpkins.
Cheesecake? Who else wants cheesecake? I'm calling cheesecake around right now.
Yeah, all right. I'll have some cheesecake.
Hey, cheesecake!
Sure, I suppose I did
Elliot!
come.
Ryland, cheesecake?
Fine, let's all just go take in the local flavor, whatever it may be.
You know, if it gets him off toast and marshmallows, then you know it's gotta be good.
If he ever becomes human, he's gonna get so fat.
He did become human.
Yeah, but he didn't have long enough to get that fat.
And sideline,
Jesus
I can tell you,
Christ.
while human was constantly going 1,000 miles an hour.
As the group disembarks towards the town, the large palisade walls are not an issue because they're the gate, turns out, unless you want to climb over the wall instead.
Nope, gate.
Nah.
There's no need.
Then you can walk down through the through the gates. There are some guards on duty, though they're not really paying that much attention because what have they got to guard against?
Yeah.
Us.
As it
I mean,
just
Torn's walking in, very clearly very armed.
And they kind of one of the guards kind of looks up, nods to you. They don't consider you a thing that they need to look at, really.
This is good.
Consume their flesh, take hold of your werewolf ways. Make sideline finally use the silver bullets he carries around.
The
Yeah,
town.
you say that, Sarah, but we will. You know we will.
It's ironic that it's the most stable considering it's full of sorcerers.
but yeah.
Hey, it's just everyone's a nuclear deterrent, pretty much.
Essentially, yeah.
It's also exceptionally diverse. One thing that very much picks up, you kind of pick up as you kind of go in, where one of the first kind of people you end up seeing once you get past kind of the guards is because there's a lot of shops actually when you kind of first come in. A surprising number of shops, really. There's like a nice tavern like straight after you come in, and a blacksmith on the other side. The blacksmith is being run by an Ifrit.
Keeps the coal hot himself.
Pretty much. Not unheard of.
I've missed Tom.
Outside the tavern, there's a pair of halflings and a gnome seemingly in a fierce discussion. All rather old, like pair of old halflings and an old gnome in a fierce discussion about the best way to prepare barley into wine. Yes, barley into wine.
Huh.
You've questioned
Well,
it. No, they know it.
you know, they're halflings. I'm sure they found a way.
And the gnome is a gnome. Gnome.
Gnomes.
Leave the Persilts alone. But yes.
What do you want to do? We're going to enter into town as a group.
Are we going to split up?
Well,
Cheesecake?
As said, unless you drag Torin into somewhere, like say Cheesecake,
Could be
he's
about
going to go off on his own to
it's been about midday
take
now.
in the local.
Okay.
This is like he's been in the Eyrie for a while, and he learned plenty about that. He knows plenty about Volgmar. This is somewhere he's just never been before. So he's
Cheesecake.
kind of fascinated. So
Cheesecake.
sure, let's all have some cheesecake, and then we can go off and split up.
That's probably a good idea because it gives us somewhere to actually meet up at the end of the day.
Yeah, specifically,
Beyond
Dortes is going to be trying to see if anywhere seems weirdly familiar, even though he hasn't been there before. Basically, is the same building as the memory still there, even if it's not like a cheesecake restaurant anymore?
Yeah.
No?
One thing that
What?
does-
There's no more cheesecake?
There might be, it's just the old building isn't there anymore.
I've been lied to.
We can find you some
Again.
cheesecake.
You will rue the day you lied to me.
I rued the day I lied to him. I rued it twice in one day, actually. Once in each leg, in
However,
fact.
one thing that does certainly strike some members of the group, multiple members of the group, given the fact that art has been made of this, as you kind of get into the town square, there is a large statue in the middle of the town square right now.
Oh god.
I'd say a statue. It's more a effigy.
Oh god, it's the Pumpkin Man.
It is a combination of like straw and rope and wood effigy of the Pumpkin Man with an actual pumpkin head.
Hmm.
And a scythe. A actual metal scythe being held up by the effigy.
Is this common for it to usually be like this?
You haven't really been to like this festival itself before,
Um,
but I mean that you wouldn't. I mean they normally have some depiction of them. This is a depiction.
Okay.
is there anyone around that looks like they might be working on setting up things to do with the Pumpkin Man festival?
Nothing. No one who looks like they're directly setting up things to do with it. It looks like kind of almost everyone sets up their things by themselves.
No. Well, I'll flag someone down who doesn't look too busy and basically, oh, we're new in town, I noticed all the pumpkins and stuff, can you tell me what's going on? Just fill me in about the festival, I guess?
It's the True Light Harvest Festival.
Okay.
They say, oh, in a kind of way that is like expecting like you would know what that is.
Yeah, I've spent the last couple of years up in the Eyrie, so...
Most of us are very foreign to this kingdom.
I
yeah,
am exorbitantly foreign.
He is. He's stupidly foreign. She's the only one that's really been here before.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm glad to be back though.
Well, if you'd want, well, I wouldn't really be the best to explain all of it to you. But if you're looking for more, I mean, you could certainly join in with some of the town's festivities. In a few days' time, we've got the main bulk of the celebration, and if you want to just have more information, either the sage or the library could probably do it, or if you would rather, she kind of rolls her eyes. Lester at the bar could also probably help.
I take it you don't think much of his stories?
He enjoys the sound of his voice.
Who doesn't?
He's one
One
of
of those people.
Alright, well, thank you very much.
He nods. The woman was a half-elf, out of curiosity.
Wait, before you go.
Hello there.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait,
I see
before you
have
go.
some elf in you. Would you like a little more?
Oh, dear crap. No.
Does not say that. Does not say that.
Maybe I should become the big bad evil guy that we deserve.
I would join your army. I can be trusted lieutenant.
Don't worry, son, I won't make any sexual into it.
It's fine when we're not awful.
I've already got someone. I don't need to be flirting with everyone else.
Give it a try. It's fun.
Okay, before she goes, question: cheesecake, where?
Cheesecake?
Cheesecake.
He's
He's
heard there might be cheesecake around.
I have been
here,
told that there would be
and
cheesecake here.
I don't know anyone. Cheesecake. Sorry.
Sorry, he's easily obsessed.
So easily. Last week it was marshmallows, before that it was toast. He has a bit of a one-track mind when it comes to food.
Jortes, in your dream, where about in the city was the Cheesecake Building located?
Sure does have no idea.
Yeah. You know, I saw it from the inside, so...
What was outside the window?
At this point, Torn just kind of wanders off without saying anything.
Yeah.
Could Georges have even seen outside the window?
I mean, there is a completely valid point, of course, that Carmilla died over 100 years ago. So
Yeah. You know.
That might be the point. Because if she did die over 100 years ago, Silen's going to go cheesecake hunting.
Actually,
And
technically, she died over 200 years ago. So,
Mm-hmm.
Sideline's going to do a bit of cheesecake archaeology if she died that long ago and the building no longer exists.
and you're going to look for what cheesecake shop she stayed in.
Which one she stayed in, who served her, what kind it was.
Oh, goodness.
Is there old family recipes?
Okay. This sounds like the best time for us to split up. Considering that someone's already
Yes,
taken a minute to
please.
sideline. Why don't you take Anna and the kids and see if you can find some lovely cheesy desserts?
Okay, I can do that.
So, Sideline is on Team Delicious.
Yeah.
This is an acceptable team.
Jortes, what are you going to do? Because personally, I'm going to hit up the library because Maggie here happens to be very good at stuff.
Well, I'm not really one for books, as you know, so I'll probably hit up Lester, I guess.
Torn is going to You're going to eventually just find Torn at the library.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we have Team Library.
Did she say there was a sage as well, or was the sage in the library?
Yeah, the sage was in the library.
Right.
Makes sense. A sage watches over the library.
Yep.
First, all right. You know what? I have plans. I know how I'm going to go about doing this.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
You're going to turn it into a game, aren't you?
What? Mildly, actually.
Remember, liberal application of kids.
Yes, that is the plan.
I'll never not regret saying that. But
First plan. I need to go find someone old.
Hey, Thorok.
Older. And from this area.
Sarah!
Oh, I haven't been this
Oh,
area.
looks older than Sarah is.
I've been in the area, but I've not been in this area. Also, what is it you're going to do, Georges? Just so we know in case we need to run after you because you're getting chased by the pumpkin men.
Basically, if you guys are hitting up the library, I'll hit up Lester and see if he has anything different to say to what you find out.
The rogue is going
all
to the
this.
bar. This sounds like a good use
Not
of
to
time.
get drunk, but yes.
Well, if you end up getting laid instead, see if your whore has anything to say about things.
I will, don't worry. If neither of them work out, then I guess I'll just wander around town until you guys are done in the library.
Because Pillow Talk is the best place to get lore and side quests.
Hey,
Sometimes, actually.
You have no idea how useful that's been at times.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, apparently George has slept with a money fairy before, and I'm pretty sure I know where the money actually came from. But at this point, it's just a running joke.
All right. Team Child, I have a plan. Come, my children, we must go.
As suddenly, because of how creepy you are, you receive a kick to the kneecaps, a firearm, and a magic spell.
Ow! Why?
I'm just saying, how creepy did you sound there? Come, my children.
Come, little children, I'll take
I have a point, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
into a land of enchantment.
You're also not helping.
No.
I'm supposed to be helping?
I have a
Oh.
blacksmith to go talk to. Blacksmith, you're old. You're an Ifrit. You live for thousands of years.
We lived for like 800.
Shush. Beside the point. Were you here 200 years ago?
I will deal with that in a second.
We
dear.
immediately just see like sideline rocket off and start harassing the blacksmith.
I have to draw the running animation again for everybody.
Oh no.
And I can sit on my shoulders.
Where's team damage control?
We don't have a team
you.
damage control. That is you guys, basically.
I know,
Do you know
but
me
we're
and Sideline will get up to shit? Torrin as
being
well,
studious.
Hey, I do not plan to get up to shit. My plans for this are to just learn things, get history, and
You
maybe
don't
participate
plan,
in some of the
but you often do.
Granted.
Well, let's see. Team Elf,
Hello.
also known as Team Bar, I think.
Yep.
Otherwise known as
Chug,
Team
chug,
Hookers and
chug.
Blow.
You go to the tavern.
Yes.
Jordan enters into the tavern and music, merriment, and almost immediately, Jordan almost gets hit in the face by a very large raven that flies past.
Okay, ducks out the way. I'm going to assume that was someone's familiar messenger, something or other.
And almost immediately after, you see this kid who guessed maybe like 9 or 10, dressed with like an apron and everything, clearly like the son of like the person who owns this, chasing after their familiar. Blown off.
Oh dear. It's
And you see the bartender kind of wave over to you.
Moonine, come back!
he's sort of chuckling as he goes over to the bar.
It's surprisingly lively given it's the middle of the day in the harvest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's not a lot of people here, but the atmosphere they do have, the few people, is a very nice atmosphere. What can I do for you? Welcome to town.
Oh, thank you. What?
Did you come in on that flying boat?
Yeah, actually. It's the best way to travel these days.
Oh, I've heard.
Gotta be careful of dragons sometimes, but we can outrun them, usually.
It sounds like quite the story.
Yeah, I'll tell it to you sometime. What have you got on tap? Basically, what's the local?
Well, we've got a few things, but given the season, he goes ahead and cracks open a barrel and pours something out of its tap that's in it, and slides across to a slightly bubbly orange cider of some kind.
He'll give it a taste.
It is quite sweet. It's quite sweet with this odd kind of bitterish aftertaste. It's pumpkin.
Ah, that's very different, but not at all bad.
It's not bad, no. And it's not like Starbucks pumpkin, it's actual pumpkin.
Yeah, it's not pumpkin spice, it's pumpkin. There's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, I like the taste of pumpkin a whole hell of a lot more than I like the taste of pumpkin spice. And when I make my own pumpkin pies, I do not use all that much spice in it, actually.
Yeah,
It's mostly just straight pumpkin flavor.
Yeah,
Mhm.
George has with his refined taste of alcohol, the amount he's had in his lifetime, would also probably recognise there's also like some other like small fruits and stuff in it. But primarily pumpkin.
But no, I like this.
Consider that one a free one on the house.
Oh, cheers.
It's always nice to get visitors here.
Yeah, there's a few of us turned up. You might. Well, I imagine the rest will probably turn up here sooner or later. Especially the dwarf. I'm surprised he's not here already.
Dwarves always enjoy the ale.
Yeah, a little too much sometimes.
I have a stronger batch in case they need something more alcoholic.
He definitely will. He carries around his own barrel of fire whiskey just because.
Sounds about right. They're always the same.
Mm-hmm. I know. Anyway, we couldn't help but notice the whole, pumpkin thing going on outside. I was told I might be able to find, I think it was Lester here who could spin a tale about what it's all about.
He just kind of waves a finger around. Take a
Okay.
seat. Take a seat.
Ah. Takes a seat.
Well, the towns. We're not one of the few towns that still do it, but we have for a long time. Longer than I know anyone in the town's been alive, at least. But it's quite the we have our own spirit. We have our own spirit of this area who watches over our harvest. I think you've probably seen a depiction of him somewhere in the town.
The pumpkin-headed guy with the scythe.
Nods. He's existed for a long time, and he doesn't just of our harvest. He's also our watcher into death as well. People find it sometimes odd that we combine them, but it makes sense. What does fall do to the earth after all? But what do you want to know about it? Ah, no questions.
I don't know. Everything really. I mean, how long have you been following this? Like doing this festival?
Well, the oldest person in the town is Miss Grenly, and she is 700 years old.
Let's out a low whistle.
Full-blooded elf.
Ah, that would explain it, yes.
She is the town's oldest resident, and as long as she remembers, the town's always had the spirit.
Yeah. By the way, what race is this guy?
The individual before you, it takes kind of. They're human. You're pretty sure, though they do have some minor features that might hint that they have some other ancestry somewhere.
Yeah. So there might be like a quarter something or an eighth something, but they're majority human.
They're majority human.
Right. The chances are he's not ancient either.
Probably not. Sure, I have a cookie on my desk. I forgot to eat.
Yeah.
PM cookie. Yeah, you can think up questions if you would like to. Either switch to someone else.
I will try. You know I am bad at this, but I will try.
Yeah, give me the option. Meanwhile, Team Delicious. You head to
Well,
the back.
Silent said BRB, but he's not back yet, apparently.
Okay. Team Books.
Hello. I imagine Sarah and Thorok get to the library before I do, because I have something to go deliver to someone.
Probably then.
Yeah, that delivery will handle off screen, but we'll deal with it when we get there. Actually, I'm going to just pull Torrent off to the side for now. Which is only good if I'm pouring Torrent off the map. So, Team Bookworms.
What were you saying about not finding trouble?
Hello.
The two of you make it to the library. It's not huge. It's not that big. It's probably, it was once essentially like a 2-bedroom house. Essentially, like the entire downstairs has been converted into a library,
Okay.
and the upstairs have been kept as the house and like the kitchen up there and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Someone lives here. Probably with Sage.
It makes sense. The town isn't huge. It doesn't really have a need for a huge library,
But it has.
but it has a library still. In addition to probably whatever the archive has.
Yeah.
At the town hall. As you kind of go up to it, the door is free to open.
So we're heading. Listening forks.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow.
The bookshelves made from a fine old dark wood. Various books lining the shelves. The place. Currently, you see a feather duster kind of running across one of the shelves next to you.
Wonder if it's enchantment or a spell.
As you see on the far side of the room, currently sitting down, reading a book, is a rather old-looking dwarf.
Oh.
Hmm.
Long braided white beard.
Okay. Fark, do you think we should go over and just announce that we're here? I mean, this is a library.
It's clearly known that you came in because there was a bell on the door.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure how enamored he is.
Yeah,
If he looks over, sir, we'll give like a small wave.
They peer up, at least.
Get a
They
smell.
they
Get a
acknowledge you
small wave.
exist. They seem to be reading something rather fascinating right now.
Fark, I'm gonna have a look at books. I don't know what you want to do, but I will be here.
I'd like to actually go speak with the sage.
Well, sorry, you're very quiet.
I will likely go speak with the sage.
Okay. Well, time to see if his book. Time to see if his library has any books on the town history.
There indeed is books on the town history.
Yay.
As it takes some time to search around, though. Then again, Sarah might have a skill that might aid her in the situation.
She has profession scribe, and worst case, Maggie has both knowledge history and knowledge local. If
No,
that
your
helps
professional
at
scribe
all.
will set. Oh, this is more just like how well does Sarah search a library?
Yeah.
Which it turns out, scribe is a perfect profession for searching a library. Another good one would be clerk, or even barrister is actually effective for that.
I have barrister.
That's the reason I brought it up. Oh well, professional librarian is also valid. But please give me a roll, just to see how good Sarah is doing. Sarah's been invaded. Meanwhile, of course, we have Forg. Anything in particular Forg wants to look at? Does he just want to kind of look around? Does he want to look at what the dwarf's reading?
He's just going to stand there and stare at the dwarf.
Wouldn't be the first
No. No, but you know what? I think I'm just going to approach the sage or I assume it is the sage.
Sure, you can approach over to the grey dwarf sitting on the far side of the room. He peers up slightly, adjusts his reading glasses.
Thork will bow and say, "Greetings, most knowledgeable sage. It is well. I apologize for disturbing your reading."
It is fine. It is fine. I have all the time in the world. What is it?
Well, I was hoping to gain some information from you, particularly about the festival going on.
Yes, the town's festival, a very old festival indeed. The True Moon Festival dates back hundreds and hundreds of years. My guesses are about a millennia 300. My guesses, though we don't have a record of when it was.
Aye, quite a long time. Many generations have passed.
Gotta shake his head slightly. The town gets so invested in it all the time. Far more than it needs to. Regardless. If you're really interested, pull up a seat.
Gladly.
He just slightly closes his heavy, thick book that even lets out dust when it's closed.
Or we'll just either find a chair, or if there's not one really close by, he'll just sit on the floor.
There is one close by. It's not too bad that way. So he is sitting at like the reading area, so you know. But the festival's original purpose was appeasing the spirit of the town, though it has evolved over much of the time. the spirit Taklon is a well in legend was a vengeful spirit that used to destroy the harvests.
That's interesting.
His role has evolved a lot over time.
I can tell.
He's now seen as the town's protector, and jeez, I've got. It's interesting. It's always interesting how things can convert something's opinion from being something's destruction to something's savior.
Aye.
The world, it keeps moving.
Because I realize it's falling off screen. What exactly are you looking to find out about it? Have you got a particular question? Got some reason you know?
My mind's blanking. Was there anything particular that we were looking for learning about this?
Well, specifically, wherever try to find, from what Jortes knew, wherever try to find out about the festival that we're talking about, which is probably this one, or her old domain.
Yeah,
we were
we're
talking about an
learning
old
things
shrine
about-
festival.
Yeah, we're learning things about this festival as well as Blood Princess Carmilla.
Assumably this festival. However, learning about the spirit is never not a bad idea.
Yeah, which is a lot of what Torin wants to do, considering he's like the only religious member of the group. Ironically enough.
Yeah, Thor's kind of religious. It just he reveres all the gods. He doesn't revere any specific ones. So
Yeah, so what exactly do you ask the sage dwarf who clearly is a little bit clearly is not the best talker in the world? Then again, how many dwarves that could have talked to them with your sister?
that is true, but that's fine. Like how the festival got started, or well, he's already sort of answered that. It was millennia ago, but what the festivals have been like through the years, if they've changed much, and a bit more on the spirit itself.
The spirit, as I'm sure you have seen the depictions of, body like that of a thin, emaciated man with a pumpkin for a head, with having a scythe, commonly dressed in black. A lot of black. Terrible colour black. Anyway. Turns the festival has shifted throughout the years in different ways. Once it was just, as I mentioned, it was just about appeasing the spirit. It has evolved over time into this huge celebration where the spirit is more revered as a guardian instead of a thing to be appeased. Though at the same time, with all actuality, that is, I suppose, not entirely incorrect with how in years the fathers have got better and better with this ritual, and the various talkers to the spirit seem to have gotten more powerful and more powerful.
So there are actual magical rituals going on in the festival.
Do you know where in the River Kingdoms you are?
I said I do.
Magic runs through this. Magic runs through this place's soil, like water run through the River Kingdoms. Well, look at the name.
Apologies. I come from an area where, well, outside of my own home, magic wasn't exactly kindly looked on. Than the divines.
Not all appreciate the gifts that flow through the soil that invigorate everyone around here, but it is something that this place has dealt with even into ancient times. Something that Sidon, by the way, can confirm that even this area, though it wasn't this magically potent, was magically potent.
Yeah, let's really hope that Hecate's thing doesn't hit too hard down here, because it's going to be a mess.
This place is already high up in the magical saturation level. How high can it get?
Yeah.
Let's hope that it doesn't, because saturation tends never to be too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
The magic per kilogram of soil has changed from 5 in like the Eyrie through like 5,000.
Oh dear.
Or actually, possibly 50,000. This area is pretty magical, turns out. Other than that, it's well, the old records make it a very dark time where people used to hide in their homes. Now the celebration comes out into the street. People celebrate it. The town has these lively things that wastes all our resources with petty squabbles, bar fights, and whatever else ends up happening. Does that answer your question at all?
Aye, it does.
Not the friendliest wolf.
That's fine. Thorax dealt with worse.
If any other things in particular you wish to ask for now, or should I shift over to someone else?
Yeah. He's going to ask the dwarf his age. And about how long he's been in this area.
Hell no, Fork. Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady her age?
I was going to say, that's incredibly rude.
I've
You're a
lived,
dwarf.
I've lived here for what would this be? 16th decade? 17th decade?
16 or 17 decades. How long ago was Carmilla supposedly here?
200 years. She died 200 years ago.
Oh, well, around 200 years. It might have been slightly more.
Roughly.
The exact date.
Yeah.
Saying that she's even dead.
Well, if her magic items have anything to say about it.
The age of the dwarf, he'll inform you after I actually bring up his age. It's like, actually, it's your age.
Hmm.
The dwarf, who is definitely in the venerable category at this point.
Yeah, I
Four
kind of felt
centuries
like
or
he was
more.
getting senile on Fork at least halfway through there.
He's just grouchy.
I mean, it's valid considering a dwarf. Technically venerable is 250 years, and the dwarf said he's lived here. He's lived in this town for 160.
Yeah. And from the look of it, he's a lore keeper.
But his age is, let's have a look. He is 270. He lived over half his life here.
Yeah, that's nearly in his 3rd century. Still. Knowledgeable sage. I'm wondering if you recall someone from your youth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you have heard her name. Carmilla.
You hear a slight clank as he kind of closes his mouth slightly, of two metal teeth grinding against each other. I know of Carmilla. Yes. I did not personally meet her, but I do know of her. And well.
And you know of her items in the world then?
I know
Those
enough.
cursed things that she's left.
A cursed legacy.
Aye. If I may introduce myself now, I am Thorak Magebane.
Magebane.
I have the Magebane Monastery in the northern mountains of the Eyrie.
That good. Yes.
Aye.
Your land of snow and ice. Your frost glass.
Aye. But I have come down here seeking knowledge of her and her items. Ways of ridding them.
You will find no such help here.
Why so?
That is so.
You know, she kind of ruled over these lands many years ago, and these are all kind of all mages, and you just said you're a Magebane?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, maybe being like, hello, I'm family killer. Maybe not the best idea of introduction.
Ah,
I
dear.
am Sunslayer.
Yeah, sense motive might be a good idea to see if it is just that he's climbing up about, or he just hates you.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get that. First off, exploit weakness. Is he CR 16 or less?
He is indeed CR 16 or less.
Okay, good.
No, I was hoping for
Then-
all-powerful wizard.
He is pretty powerful, but he's not 16 or less. Or I mean, he's not 17 or more. So
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay. Yeah. 30.
Thorok can see plain of day that he has no respect for your family. Pretty much.
That's fine by my.
Actually, it's quite the disdain it seems for it. But other than that, though, as soon as you kind of brought up that you want to speak about Carmilla, it definitely seems like he's kind of closed off completely. That it's not a topic he wishes to discuss.
Can I get a sense as to why? Like, does he just hate Camilla so much himself that he doesn't want to speak to
Yeah.
her, or does he like revere her, or fear her even?
You might even think of it more as a I do not dare to speak of the dead who could come back and smite me.
Oh.
Right.
A legacy of fear. Which admittedly, given how powerful her magic items that she can create on a whim were. Yeesh.
Yeah. It's not bad, but
And of course, whatever history she had.
well, it seems I'm not going to be getting information from here then. I'll be taking my leave, knowledgeable sage.
Do enjoy your trip, Mage Bane.
Sure I shall.
As he adjusts his reading glasses and reopens his huge magical-based tome.
Well, in that case, Thork is going to go search the library then, or find Sarah and help her with that.
Sarah, meanwhile, who with her profession as scribe, kind of knows what she's looking for.
Yep.
She understands, like, wait, I know how this place has been organized.
Thankfully, this person seems to have an actual understanding of word
It
structure.
actually used the Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah, basically.
Oh my god, I haven't seen this since I last left here.
The place is like actually well organized and well kept and well ordered.
Such a change. No more swordfish tax.
Swordfish. Oh, swordfish.
Wait, got that. I just realized. Okay, anyway.
I like swordfish.
I'm just imagining two people dueling with swordfishes
We've
now.
had this.
That's true.
We have legitimately had this before. It was awesome. So, Sarah though can certainly search through. This certainly speeds up her ability to kind of do some research here. The library is well kept, and there is really not much here when it comes to like number of people. You're pretty alone when it comes to it, so you have a lot of peace with this.
And
Because
thankfully not
there
having to like fight people for a book.
There is the two of you here. There is, well, the sage. And
I
other
shall
than that,
never have a name.
I mean, literally, the townfolk just know him as the sage.
Wow. Still under his silk throat chain. No one's even asked him his name.
Like, people already know it, but you just refer him to as the sage. It's kind of you wouldn't walk up to the king and say, "Hey, Andrew."
Yeah, it's a title of respect.
You don't say, "Hey, Andrew" to the king. It's king.
Only if he likes me. Anyway.
Well, Halius would, but that's a different story.
It's the king. Other than that, there is like one other person here, like some person's apprentice who's like looking around at the magical section.
If you look a bit lost, I'll help. Be like, need that one. It's really good for enchantments.
He thanks you. He's seemingly having to learn transmutation right now. And
Okay.
struggling.
Well, that's more of a less fun skills, but still pretty fun. But that's over there.
So I don't know, that can learn transmutation.
Transmutation's one of my favorites.
It's one of the like two.
Evocation seems to be another one of your favorites.
Mm-hmm.
As well. Yeah, Sarah can certainly kind of look around. It's like Sarah trying to gather them.
She's trying to look at the history of the town.
Sure.
And also, considering she probably could have heard Farrokh and the Sage this conversation, she'll probably try and see if there's anything detailed about the spirit.
Well, Sarah can roll me a history check and a religion check.
Am I allowed to use Maggie for this?
I mean, Maggie can roll. Maggie is here, and Maggie can speak.
Yay, that's one of the good things about Fresh. Okay, so history. Nice. And what was the other one? Religion. Less nice. Make fortune charm bet. Nah, leave it.
Okay. And I will reply to what you end up discovering later.
I'll fling away a bunch of Mongol points.
As Sarah sits down and starts to read. And her bird starts to read. Team Delicious.
Hey! Actually, I named this Team Snacks. It rolls off the tongue a bit better.
Team Snacks shows up at the blacksmith.
Evening, sir. Have you been residing in this town for very long?
The Ifrit pauses in his crafting. Takes a moment.
Oh, Sideline's also kind of standing very close and sort of nudges his hammer slightly to the left. It'll be better there.
Though Sideline is not that good at manual blacksmithing. Excellent.
Yeah, that's true.
He kind of takes some time. I've lived here for the last 70 years.
Shame.
You know, 95 years still.
Yeah, well, shame. I was looking for someone a bit, who's been here a bit longer. I'm trying to find a location of an old cheesecake factory that used to be here. Restaurant.
Factory?
Cheesecake restaurant. Sorry, I'm from another time. It's what we used to call it back then.
I don't think we have anything like that.
Well, I'm sure you did. But it's just the fact that you weren't here at that time. I know you guys had, in this town there was one at some point. I'm just looking for where it used to be. Would you know anyone who used to be here 200, 150 years ago?
I mean, there's the old elf who's like a century.
That should do. Where is he? You know?
She's he gives you directions.
Cool. All right, we need to go hunt down a cheesecake restaurant. Apparently.
Time to go talk to the oldest person in the town. Cheesecake.
Yes.
You know the cheesecake is going to have no relevance on anything whatsoever, and I don't think Sideline cares.
It's not about the fact. It was next to the McDonald's, if that helps. Oh, God.
And clearly Silent drew the time waster card.
The oldest person in the town. How is she? She doing okay?
She is a very, very old elf.
Evening, ma'am. Knock, knock. Knockity, knock, knock.
Just runs up to the door. Evening, ma'am. Now knock, knock.
I said, come in.
Oh, okay. Okay, Sideline comes in. Sideline has Anna on his shoulders because he's been walking around town a lot because Anna doesn't like walking. And Elliot and Rylan, I assume, are following along unless they want to veer off and go look for other ways of finding cheesecake.
Honestly, they've probably at this point you've kind of turned around and they've completely vanished.
Okay.
Again, you're really bad at keeping track of those two.
Have you seen
You didn't.
the check?
It's not my job. You didn't tell me to keep track of them.
Even if we did, it wouldn't help. It didn't last time.
Yeah, they're together. It'll be fine.
They're probably doing something responsible and nobly, right?
Yes.
No.
Evening, ma'am. How are you doing today?
Terrible.
Oh, why's that?
My tea is cold.
Decided we'll pick it up.
Don't
And
burning
suddenly,
hands.
not burning hands, but he will channel.
Just when you notice when you pick up a cup of tea, it's frozen.
Why is your tea frozen? I suppose that is true statement. Silently, we'll start warming it up by just putting reactor heat into his hands and putting all the coolant there. He's not gonna burning hands. This is gonna blow up his house, her house. It's gonna...
Considering how Sideline
Oh,
gets when he's excited and hunting for something, I was expecting that. I was
Yeah.
expecting just, right, get out the way, burning hands, there you go, sorted.
Boom.
I'll
There you
fix the rest of it later.
I've been told you've been living here for quite a long time.
I grew up here.
Oh, would you happen to know of an old cheesecake restaurant that used to be around here?
I'm in the house. Used to be owned by this lovely little halfling girl. I stood only a tiny bit, just a little bit shorter than she is, kind of mixed up.
Hmm.
Lovely girl. Knew her manners.
Hmm.
Those were the days when people had respect.
You'll have to forgive me, but I do not heir from that kind of time. I heir from somewhere far, far older, but that is beside the point. Would you happen to know where it would be located?
The place closed down more than a century ago.
I figured as much. I'm merely looking for if there is A, ruins, or B, some other way I could find out what the building used to hold.
I'm not guessing there's much, considering the graveyard expanded over its old place.
Interesting.
I knew it would come down to that damn graveyard.
And I don't think there are much in the way of records of it. If anything, maybe the town hall has something.
I'm not much for records. I'd rather go look out for things myself.
Well, there's not going to be a lot left, as it turns out. It was her business. She earned a living there. She got some customers. Even got some trophies throughout the River Kingdoms for her work.
Interesting.
Did.
I'm more curious about, some of the repeat customers that she's had. Also, some of the things that might be held there.
There's nothing held there anymore.
Yet to be seen.
Well, it doesn't exist anymore.
That is true. But, well, many things that are presumed not to exist anymore continue existing, even beyond the human eye. Or elven eye, such as your case. Suddenly gestures mildly to himself, but,
You young lad have a lot to learn.
Actually, how old are you exactly? Well, approximation. I did you not.
Don't you know it's old to ask a woman her age?
No.
It is.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Well, thank you for giving me the information. I have to go look for a cheesecake building. Restaurant? Factory. Yes.
She grumbles this long list, this long amount of elven, basically like old person grumble as you leave.
Yep. So then we'll set down the now warm tea in front of her.
She kind of picks it up. And as you kind of leave, you do see her like breathe fire onto the tea.
And silently we'll walk over to a graveyard. Da-da-da-da-da.
Graveyard is massive. We'll get back
Big
to
graveyard.
Jordas,
Hello.
how are you doing in the bar?
Slowly getting slightly pickled.
Do you have a question?
Very slowly.
Do you have a question in mind? Would you
what
want to get a drink?
He'll have drink, yes. But
Drink.
what?
The drink will cost you a couple of copper.
That's fine. I can pay that. What actually happens for the festival? Like, what do they arrange for it? What rituals or I don't know. What happens for it?
Well, in a few days' time, the main festival will begin. There is going to be a large celebration in the town square. The musicians will come out and, well, they shall perform, and various people will give offerings before the effigy.
This is how
When midnight comes along, the effigy will be lit ablaze and burnt. At the same time as this happens, various people will also be making wishes and throwing them into the burning effigy. That is the main bulk of the main day's ceremonies. There will be various feastings about, and various people will have small stalls about, which you can go to and enjoy. The day after, we do have some more celebrations we end up doing, though, as not everyone enjoys doing stuff in the middle of the night like that. The next day, after about noon, there ends up being another large celebration at the town hall, and also one here as well. He kind of gestures over to several large barrels behind him. We have quite a lot ready for it. Where people will be able to go and enjoy time, feast together, or even those who are alone enjoy feasts with the community around. You also find many of the youngsters. Then, well, should be just the youngsters. So some halflings occasionally try to slip in unnoticed. We'll be going around wearing these masks. Lucas, come over here. You got your mask? His son comes back over. The bird sitting on top of his head, occasionally picking it. Like the kid just kind of like trying to stop it from doing it. Showing up these essentially these kind of, well, in this case it's a base, it's a just plain white, mostly plain white, basically like a kind of, I guess the best way to describe it, like an Oni mask almost. It's, it's mostly featureless in many ways, but it has like these two horns on the top of it and kind of like eye slits and stuff.
Yeah.
As you say, it's partially painted right now. The kid hasn't finished painting it.
Like, cool.
And they will get to go around town, and town performing small little jokes and pranks, and it's always quite entertaining to see what they come up with.
Oh, Rylan and Elliot are going to show them all up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, if we were traveling with a couple of kids, I'm sure they would love to join in with this, and oh god, the pranks they can pull.
I'm sure they'll enjoy it. If they're looking for masks, I have spares to sale. Also, by the way, if nothing else, Elliot might win the best looking mask.
Yeah,
Because he can use an art check.
Hey,
because he can cheat.
No, it's just he's really good at this.
Yeah.
That is the main bulk of the celebration. There are various other people be running things around town though. It's quite the lively time of year actually.
That sounds most entertaining. I'd love to stay and see, well, all of it.
If you would like to, you're welcome. Visitors are allowed to join in just as well.
Unrelated question.
It's a time for all of us to be together. As he kind of slides another drink across and takes some more coins from the pile.
takes a drink, lets him take the coins.
He's a barkeep. You should expect it. He won't know.
Yeah. Completely unrelated, but if we're going to be staying for a few days for the festival, does he know anywhere where we can bed down without having to, like, travel all the way back to our ship?
How about my inn?
You know, I didn't want to just be presumptuous and assume that you had room spare and everything, but if you do, then sure.
We have plenty of room spare. And it's a nice time of year. I know it's not too bad. And I mean, times are hard, and I'm sure I can cut a little bit off you.
You are most generous. Not believing a word of it. Just going along.
As he will go ahead and offer at the current going market price for a 1 second, and I need to quickly check this. He has a variety. Assuming you guys want to stay in actual, proper rooms and like communal areas, because of course some people just prefer just staying in the communal areas because it's cheap.
Preferably rooms.
But you want rooms? It would be offered at the price of. Let's see. Each room could have 2 people in it, and the base price would be 6. The base price is 2 up to 6 gold per night.
6 gold a night. Well.
Per room, room can hold 2 people, so.
Well, I'll make no guarantee about my companions, but I will certainly book a room for myself.
This also includes breakfast in the morning.
Yep.
No other meals, but breakfast at least is covered. So.
That's why it's more expensive.
Yeah. So as part of this festival, there's no actual shrine ritual things that go on apart from the effigy burning.
What was that?
As part of the festival, there's no actual shrine ritual things that happen apart from the effigy burning.
Not particularly. The various pumpkins around town that have been carved are all based around, well, partly for fun. Most people see it for fun now, though I know they were originally meant to help ward off darker spirits, scare them away. He makes kind of like that kind of like woo emotion towards you.
Sort of chuckle, was it like darker spirits? What kind of darker spirits?
The same goes also for the masks for the kids on the second day. They were meant to protect them so the spirits could recognize them. But for the kind of spirits, well, the original legends, as far as I'm aware, talk about the fact that our town's great patron, kind of smirks slightly.
Which one's that?
Our creepy pumpkin.
Ah, yes, that one.
Has a number of siblings who get rather jealous and sometimes attempt to come over and ruin Taklon's all that he protects. So we need to scare. So the idea is to scare them away. Or was. It's clear, like, he doesn't entirely believe it's actually a thing that happens.
Yeah.
But hey,
well, it sounds amusing nonetheless.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
It's that kind of, even if you don't fully believe it, you're gonna go through. You'll go through with everything because it's fun still.
Yeah, and end of the day, that's what most of these festivals are actually about: just having fun and coming together as a community.
Yes, which is certainly something he endorses, both because it earns him money, but also because he actually genuinely enjoys it.
Yeah. Meow.
Meow.
Cat. I'm gonna hug you and rub my face in your belly because it's soft.
Sideline is being consumed by the blob.
Yay.
Yay.
No, the blob's
Bobcat.
got him.
No.
I don't think he minds.
Sideline.
What?
Blob is a mimic.
No! Blob, why would you do this to me? Why? No, actually, you're not very mimic-esque right now, are you? Oh, shut up.
Oh.
It's a mimic who can turn into a cat. So,
Do the belly dance. Wiggle, wiggle. What you like? The hips don't lie.
Meanwhile-
Wiggle, wiggle.
Meanwhile,
I think
Oh,
Sally
dear.
got for that while he wiggles with the cat. As you're kind of like talking there. Suddenly,
Oh my god, she's Naga bloodline.
as Jortes suddenly feels a pair of talons on his head,
I look up.
a raven comes down and pecks you on the forehead.
Okay, cut that out.
As you see the kid trying to like, jump up and get to it,
I kneel down.
he tries taking the bird off. The bird doesn't seem to want to originally, but does come off. And he seems to like scold the bird.
Oh dear. Silly birds. Is he having trouble, well, not really controlling it, but getting along with it?
It's a new bond. It's going to take some time for him to, probably get along with it.
Right. Gonna be honest, I don't know a whole lot about magic, but I'm sure he'll manage it in the end.
Still, he's not doing too bad.
Yeah.
They'll get along eventually.
Yeah.
Even if it means he has to clean up his room more because it keeps getting covered in feathers.
Well, one of the people I travel with might be able to give him some pointers. She sometimes has a bird familiar. She's a little bit weird like that. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Like I said, I don't entirely understand it. She's weird even for magic users.
I'd be careful with that. Replacing a familiar too often is quite bad luck.
Yeah. Still, anyway. It's a daft thing, but I have to ask because my friend is going insane over this. But we heard tell that once upon a time here you were able to get some cheesecake. Do you know anywhere or anyone in town who might still be able to prepare some? I will gladly pay for the service just to shut him up.
Dear, do we have any cream in? Yes. As he kind of looks over, my wife could always make some.
Please.
Well, perhaps you should mention the accommodations here. Then I could produce some.
I will certainly tell all my party about this, and if I promise them there will be cheesecake, I will guarantee at least one more of them will be here. And knowing the dwarf, he'll be here as well, and the other ones will probably come along because the first ones came. So yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. As the next mug gets slid across you.
Takes that mug. I've basically just wiped out all my copper pieces and just like, yeah, that's paying for drinks.
Fair enough. The stuff's pretty cheap, but they have abundance of pumpkins.
Yeah.
They have tons of this drink because it's their traditional. It's a tradition for this. So, they also have a lot of pumpkin pie. Turns out. When you harvest a crap ton of pumpkin,
Yeah.
you make a lot of pumpkin-based things.
So, one last thing I'm actually curious about for now. I like to go into a bit of the history of the places I go to, particularly nobility and shit like that. I know at least this area used to be ruled over by a Carmilla, something like that. Do you know anything about her or where I can get information about her?
You won't get many friends talking about her around here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
She was our princess a few hundred years ago. 237? 238? Not too many people like hearing her name still. it's less a. She was a nice ruler for us. She did a lot of things, and she visited the town multiple times, but she wasn't someone you would want to cross. And with how she was in her final few years, most are afraid to speak her name. Her own tombstone warns that she'll come back.
She went a bit mad with power or something.
It's hard to say if she went mad with power, but she's certainly not the. Certainly not the nicest of in the last few years. Power can be good, but power corrupts.
Yeah, I'm beginning to understand that.
And for some, it just makes them senile old fools. But
Yeah, it tends to go one of those two ways. Do you know anyone in town who would be willing to speak about her more and knows more about her?
honestly, not a lot. I don't tend to bring it up as a topic either, because
Well,
it's an easy way to make enemies.
well, that's fine. I obviously don't want to cause any trouble here. Don't want to bring up bad memories or anything. It was just if you did know anyone.
Not off the top of my head, I'm afraid.
Alright. Well, I'm curious about this warning on her tombstone. Is she just buried in the main graveyard? Like I saw it when I flew in. Is she just buried out there, or
She's not buried here.
no? Figured not.
She's buried.
Probably-
She's buried in the royal graveyard with all the rest.
Yeah, figures.
Just has a bit of a. Her effigy was a interesting one. She pre-made her own tombstone.
Yeah, you're
Wait,
either
is she
very-
buried here?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to be either really paranoid, really morbid, or have some weird future sight to really want to make your own tombstone
Or
before you die.
or just preparing for your own death.
Yeah, paranoid, as I
If
said.
you knew it was coming.
Yeah, paranoid or future sight, as I said.
As I said, it might not even be future sight. It might just be sex. You could very. If someone is oh no, I'm super sick, I'm dying.
Yeah, that's a kind of future sight. It's just not magical future sight.
You mean it's realizing the inevitable?
Yeah.
It happens with people.
Well, I mean, if you want to put it that way.
But yes, this is going to be more or less the main conclusion of this session, for the most part.
Right.
I'm going to later, JMax, send you a block, which is what you find out. You hear, JMax?
Yeah, I heard.
Please double remind me what you rolled and what exactly you were searching for in my private chat, so I can try to write that out.
I shall do.
As 29 history, 23 religion. Also, I love the way you announced that would be pretty much it for this session, and immediately Sideline launches up Crypto the Necrodancer again.
I'm just sitting around. I was gonna look this up anyways because I'm not being involved right now. So
It's true. It's got separated, so I'm swapping between everyone really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It just amused me.
The problem is there's only a certain speed I can swap between people and keep it still coherent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fortunately, because of me, you had one less person to swap between.
Yes. Though honestly, you've just been at the library anyway.
At some point.
But certainly,
A lot of what Torrin's doing is, what's this? What's this? There's pumpkins everywhere.
everyone but Torin, though, you can happily say meet up at the tavern later.
Yeah. Basically, at some point, I'll leave the tavern, find people, say, "Hey, good tavern over here. Sideline, I found you some cheesecake. They're willing to
Yay.
make you some. You just have to come to the tavern. Look, they have good drink. Come to tavern." Rylan, Elliot, they have masks and games and stuff. Come to tavern. Sarah, don't be a loner. Come to tavern.
I'm glad to see that you found a reason for me.
Yeah, everyone but Tora can happily say that they've met up at the tavern.
Alright then.
And Torrent's dead and or missing again.
We will handle Torrent later. Presumably he'll be back.
Dead.
I'm probably gonna make it back.
Dead.
It's just Tor's probably gonna end up turning up in the morning rather than like that night.
That is very possible.
God damn it.
Anyway,
Dead.
the point is, all of you can make it to the tavern. Presumably, that looks like you're renting out 4 rooms.
If people want to stay at tavern.
If you want to stay at tavern.
I kind of want to go back to the ship.
If you want to go
Yeah,
to
same.
3 rooms.
Oh, Thor's going to go back to the ship as
You're
well.
welcome to go back. I'm staying here.
I'm staying here.
Is the tavern's bedrooms like upstairs or downstairs?
Upstairs.
Sideline, you're not getting a bedroom upstairs.
Okay.
They won't have reinforced their floors.
There is a downstairs room as well. You should explicitly request that if you want.
Yeah, you can have the downstairs room. Don't go falling through their floor.
Since they are 2-person rooms, you know.
Well, Sideline can share with Anna if she wants to stay in town.
She can stay in town. She guesses.
It's up to her. I don't mind walking extra if she wants to return to the ship.
She'll stay with the robot, wherever the robot stays.
What's Rylan and Elliot doing? So I'll explain to them and get...
Probably painting masks.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll explain to them and get what's-his-face to explain to them about the masks and pranks and stuff.
I'm going to take it as they're probably going to end up staying here for the sheer fact that, well, you know, it's going to be more entertaining than being on the ship.
Yep.
Because, like, in the evening, the bar goes from being like already a very nice atmosphere to being a nice atmosphere, and actually being more than more people than you can count on a single hand. But as kind of people kind of rushed in and.
I did have one more question that I just thought of. Or what's his face, whose name I've already forgotten.
Sure, I guess.
You can message me later or whatever, but basically, is there anyone he can point me towards who has more information on the spirit itself and possible ways of contacting it?
Yes, he can indeed point you at them. Go ahead, put that a PM to me just to make sure I know to write down though.
Yep, will do.
Because I might end up forgetting.
So, when are you going to be abducting me, Dark?
Later. At some point later.
Okay.
Yes, you guys have your. This should be nice. How arrived at a town, you dealt with one minor cataclysm, an infestation of insects,
Yay.
and Torrance says I never use vermin.
No, you use vermin a lot.
I don't use that.
Well, not a lot. Okay, no, not a lot, but you use some the right amount.
Yeah.
When I use vermin, when I use vermin, I definitely use vermin. But sometimes you can go for ages and not see them.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, I know. Personally, I'm an avid fan of using vermin in campaigns. They're one of my favorite creature types to use, actually. So if I ever DM, expect vermin.
Vermin heart coming right up.
No, the vermin were quite well balanced, like you said earlier. You know, I think we comfortably succeeded, kind of, but it took everything we had to do so, and we were barely making the DCs.
Yeah. I spent a while trying to balance okay, exactly how much damage could they output? How much is reasonable here? How much health do these creatures have? Because of course I've also based it on how much health does that swarm have? Okay, swarm has that much health. Okay. Yeah. Depending on mild adjustments for different things.
It's even like, we tend to, at least I tend to, roll quite poorly on important things.
In this case, it was the fact that Alex nearly poisoned himself.
Yeah, with double nat ones, you fucker.
if it wasn't for the fact I remember he had one evidence that he had reroll at -5, so technically he rolled a 2.
Mm-hmm.
But he succeeded.
Yay.